Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? Fuck is this shit? Perversion. You're perverted. Why would you say you're perverted on a live stream? It's weird. It gives it jizzes. Yeah, man, do what you want. Log cabin Republican. I'm using MAGA in this context. Generally a little different than I would normally. In this context, it's just anybody who voted for Trump. But if you're a log cabin Republican, I would only assume you didn't vote for him. In which case, this wouldn't be applicable to you. Their deal, or they hate their own past when they participate. It's just personal hate. Yeah, Alcatraz. I think that's one aspect of it. I don't think that's necessarily for all of them. I would say it's a sizable chunk of them. It's self-hate. I mean, there certainly are Trump supporters that are not DL, right? That hate the LGBT plus community for other reasons. Typically, it seems to be religious, but sometimes it's not. Thanks, David. They owe their existence to straight people. Yeah, I don't see what that has to do anything. What do you want, like a cookie for that? You want someone to bow down to you? You want praise? What do you want? And that's not true, anyways. I don't know if you know this or not. There are people with an LGBT plus community that can't procreate with others with an LGBT plus community. You're talking about one little part of it. It sure is inner space. You're in the right space if that's what you want. This is the spot to be. Bones, you have caught the start. Yes. Yeah, I know. Sometimes that happens with certain people, like Erica. You probably know. There was a time period where she kept coming on as I was about to end it, or as I was close to ending, at least. Some ointment. Yeah, ointment helps in her sense for sure. We don't hate you. We feel sorry for you. We wish could you help the mentally ill. I don't think you wish. I think if you truly viewed some of these people as mentally ill, I think you would have an incredibly different approach about it. I think talking in such a negative, hateful manner is probably not like the best way to treat mentally ill people. If that's how you view it, you'd probably have a little more empathy, things like that. Hey, Sage, read the Bible. Oh, there you go, guys. You heard it here first. Read the Bible. That's the answer. But you can tell us where in the Bible it says to hate the LGBT plus community. I'd love to see that passage. Well, that's interesting, John, because like the past 5 or 6 comments previous to you said that they did in one fashion or another. They didn't deny it. They certainly said they dislike it for various reasons. And now you're saying that we don't. So who am I to believe? Maybe it's you personally don't, but those others clearly do. I'm just saying you can't come into a live stream where I have multiple Trump supporters proudly admit that they have some sort of aversion to the LGBT plus community. Then you come and say that we don't hate them. You guys are just making it up. Well, both of those can't be true. Thanks, Danielle. Hey guys, make sure you send in your heart me if you can, please. That would be great. If you're watching on the tube, if you guys can just like the live, that would be great. Um, you can subscribe, but there's really nothing to have watched so far, so there's probably nothing to motivate you to subscribe. But if you want, you can. Thanks, guys. All people deserve to pursue that. I like that, John. But if you want, you can come on up and we can talk about it. I guess the question would be, do your actions say such? I think it's a good thing that you do believe that. I just, do your actions say so? All right, John, we'll have a conversation here. Hey, what's up, John? How are you?
What's up?
Not much, man. I just need to know your age for TikTok terms of service, please.
I'm getting ready to be 61.
Cool. All right, man. So you said that we don't, rather you guys don't hate the LGBT plus community. Did you happen to vote in this last election?
I did.
Okay, and I assume Trump or
Yes.
okay. Um, what do you think his views on the LGBT plus community are? Thanks, Manny.
What do I think of what? I'm sorry.
What do you think Trump's views are on the LGBT plus community?
Um, I don't think that he like hates them or anything like that. I think that there are some common sense things that I think that a lot of people are kind of concerned over,
Okay.
but for the for
What
the
would be an
most
example? Yeah, yeah. What would be an example of
so I think men playing in women's sports, um, men being in, or I'm going to say biological men,
that? Okay. You
being in
restrooms,
women and
I assume
girls
you
safe
mentioned.
spaces.
Okay. Thanks for the harmony.
Um,
Okay. Yeah, we could talk about that. I think that's a good conversation to have. So obviously you don't believe trans women are women, you don't believe trans men are men. I don't think I'd be able to convince you otherwise. But regardless, what's the harm of a trans woman or a trans man using a woman's or a men's restroom? Like what harm is being done?
so I'm going to say this. I believe that an actual trans person is going to be any kind of detriment to women or girls? No. Do I think that this is a slippery slope that perverts and predators will prey upon
Mm.
to pretty much have an open buffet? Yes. I
But but the issue with that, those kinds of people already are breaking numerous laws to do the things that they want to do regardless. So it's not like it's a slippery slope because if they want to do that, they can just go into a restroom anyways, laws or no laws. Why would
so
that stop
I
them?
want to I want to bring up a situation that I think has not been widely reported upon, and
Okay.
that happened in Fairfax, Virginia,
Okay.
Fairfax County
Okay.
during Pride Month. Not that that had anything to do with it, but what they did was they let a trans student in a school.
Uh huh.
Um, it was a biological male that identified as a female.
It's a girl. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. This
yep,
was a kid. This was a kid.
attacked
Okay.
attacked a girl in a girl's bathroom.
Hmm.
Essayed her. When the father showed up, they tried to have him arrested. So the Fairfax County school system covered it up and then moved the student to a different school, and it happened again with the same trans student
So
attacking another
okay.
female, actual biological female
So
student.
where was it shown that this individual identified as a trans person?
So it was widely, I think it was in the reporting. I have to look it up, but it was in the reporting that this male student, identified as a female.
Um. Yeah. I mean I'd like to see that. I haven't seen that part where they identified as a trans individual at all. But even if that were to be true, again, like unfortunately, people who want to do harmful things to other individuals, they'll do that regardless of if trans people exist or if trans people are allowed in certain restrooms or spaces or not. And we don't see an increase of these things happening because of what you're mentioning, even if that were to be true.
So so I don't think that this person that we're talking about was actually a trans person. I think that this was a situation of opportunity, and I think that's where a lot of us are concerned. I
But
mean,
then I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But that can, let's say there's laws made where if you're born as a male, whether you're trans or not, you have to use the men's restroom. If you're born as a female, trans or not, you have to use the women's restroom. Let's say those laws are made, right? Then somebody can just simply do the same thing on the other side, right? Like somebody who looks like me, for example, can say like, "Oh, I was born as a female. I've just gotten all the hormones, gotten the surgery, and I just look really masculine. But I was born as a female." And then somebody who looks like me can also take advantage of the laws that you would like to have be done, right? So that can go both ways. Does that make sense? What I said?
yes.
So, so whether you have laws saying these people need to go in this restroom, this or that, that's not going to change whether these people do these shitty things. That's my point.
Okay, so I pulled up the story that I actually brought up. It says former student convicted of SA, two girls released by a Loudoun County judge. So this was, and it doesn't, because they're minors, it doesn't give their names or whatever.
Sure.
But this person that we're talking about was found guilty of
Okay.
SAing girls at two different high schools in Loudoun County, was
Okay.
ordered released from a residual residential treatment facility.
Okay.
So he was convicted of this. So it
Sure.
happened. And I think that what really brought this to the forefront was the schools. Um, I, I don't I don't really want to get out of line here, but they're just their total lack of regard for the female students that were involved in this, and then
What's the lack of regard? Like
basically,
what's not being done for them that you feel should be done?
so the last I checked, that if you SA someone,
Hmm.
that is a felony.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I'd imagine it is. Yeah.
you can serve actual jail time for this. So um, I
Awesome.
don't know if you're a parent. I have a daughter. I have a wife. Um, my concern for them every day is staying safe with some of the things that these people have gotten creative with. Um, so my thing on this is that I want women and girls to be safe. And
Sure.
how do you know what someone really is? And I think that when you open this slippery slope,
Hmm.
you allow people who aren't like are hijacking a movement. You're
But
basically lining them up for a buffet.
But the thing is, we've already discussed this, though. Again, these people who do shitty things, it seems to be strictly coming almost exclusively from cis men. So it seems to be a cis men problem rather than it is trans individuals. Uh, but as I already stated previously, even if you made the laws saying that you have to go in these certain restrooms, those types of people are going to still do those shitty things anyhow, right? They can just identify
Okay,
as
okay,
a
all
trans
right.
man. You know what I mean?
So I want to
Does that make
ask you a
sense?
question.
Okay,
I want to ask you a question.
sure.
Biologically, at the biological state, do you believe that men and women are different?
Uh, Well, are you talking? Well, hold on. Do you view sex and gender as different, or are you viewing sex and
I
gender as the same
believe
thing?
them. I believe them to be the very same thing that they are. I mean, if your plumbing's on the outside, you're a man. If
Okay.
your plumbing's on the inside, you're a woman.
Okay. Well, hold on. And but I think this is part of the issue. It's generally viewed that sex and gender are different things. There's a huge correlation between the two. There's a big overlap between the two, but they're not one and exactly the same thing. Meaning, not all males are men, and not all men are males, and not all females are women, and not all women are females. But yes, are there differences between females and males? Yeah, sure. I don't think anybody
Okay,
would deny that. Of course. Yeah.
so all right. So do you think that biological males should be able to play in sports with biological females?
I think based on what the rules and regulations currently are, and that you have to be on hormone therapy for 2+ years. I think so long as you do that, right, and you're following the
Okay.
rules, then it's not an issue. Um, but yeah, I
I
mean, if it were
will
prior to that, that probably would be, that
I
probably wouldn't be
will
fair. But
I will explain it this way, okay?
mhm.
When had hey So when you're born male, okay, there's certain things that happen to your anatomy and to your physiology
I understand.
in, as far as your body goes. And for since the beginning of man, men have done the most of the backbreaking work for civilization.
Well,
And
I don't know about
and
that,
hold
but
on, let me finish. Let me finish my
okay,
thought. Let me
okay,
finish my
go ahead,
thought. And
go
what I
ahead.
mean by that is, to me, you know, human nature or mother nature doesn't make mistakes, right? Men are bigger, stronger, faster. We have larger lung capacity, larger muscles, um, a much denser
Ch-
bone structure than females.
ch-
So
I understand.
my
I
thing
understand.
with this is, hold on, let me
I
finish.
okay,
My thing
okay.
with this is that this whole trans movement into sports,
Mhm.
where biological men want to play in sports with biological women, is pretty much one sided. And I'm going to explain my comment right here.
Okay, but
How
let me go
many?
ahead. Hold on, John. I do want to chime in because you've been going for a little bit. I want to make sure it's a back and forth conversation. Rook guy, you can go in a second. Hey guys, keep tapping and sharing. We can get to a new guest at 20,000 likes. Make sure you guys all send your heart me. So listen, I agree. Males on average are obviously taller. They obviously have more mass to them. On average, they're probably going to have more strength and power. Sure, I agree with that. It's a non-average thing. But again, once somebody goes through hormone therapy, if we're talking about trans women, for example, those differences dissipate to non-significant differences. That's why I don't have an issue with it, because if that were not the case, we would see trans women coming in first all the time. And I know you're going to mention one or two trans women that came in first or whatever. Cool, fine, but they on average do not come in first place any more than cis women do, right? So if they were dominating
Okay,
so much, we would see that, and we don't.
okay, okay. So answer me this. All right. So how many trans men are playing linebacker in the NFL right now? I'll give you the
I
short answer. It's none.
Sure, okay.
How many trans women are fighting against men in the UFC? I'll give you the short answer. It's
But
none. How many trans men are playing basketball in the NBA right now? Short
okay,
answer, none.
none, but that has nothing to do with it. But trans men, there's many
You don't
examples of
see
trans.
this as one sided.
No,
You
no, no,
you
no,
don't see
no,
this
no,
as one sided.
no, because you're comparing. I don't know. You're comparing apples and oranges. Trans
I
men
don't
have
know
come.
how.
Hold on, but John, there's been many trans men that have also come in first place in their respective sports. They have also come in first place, and
So
I can pull up examples of them. There's been many that have. And Ruka, you can chime in.
okay. So what I'm saying is that the reason that you don't see so many trans men playing in real sports with real women or with real men is because, number one, women have already, like, they would be trying to catch up. Like, men have been men forever, right? So now you're trying to change your physiology, which is like basically trying to turn my GMC truck into a Corvette. Doesn't work. None of the parts are the same. You couldn't even make the chassis work, but that's different. But what I will say is that a woman would get annihilated in male dominated sports. So
But we're
why are we allowing biological men? Because if what you say is true, if you take a biological woman
mm-hmm,
and you give her hormone treatments,
uh-huh, uh-huh.
then that means that she should be on the same level playing field with any man. Is That's
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
what
yeah,
you're saying.
and there's been here we have Patricia Maniel, we have Chris Mosier, we have Cal Clamia, Schuyler Billar, Kyle alums. Those are five examples of trans men coming in first place in their sports.
And
So,
what sports are these?
let's see. We have boxing, triathlete, marathon, swimming, basketball.
Okay, none of like the only one that I would say there that has any violence to it at all is boxing. And I don't know who this trans man would be boxing against, but
Patricio Maniel.
right, or
Mm-hmm.
but
But also, John,
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry
Rick.
to cut
Go
you
ahead.
off, but
No, go ahead.
I don't know who you are or what you look like, I'm just kind of not personalizing it to you. A 99% of Americans, whether male or female, would get absolutely fucking like
Yes.
destroyed on the football field with NFL athletes. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter if they're trans men or not.
Yeah, I agree. I
Uh,
think all three of us, John, Ruka, myself, I think we all would just get annihilated in NBA, NFL, MLB. All of us would.
Yeah, I would
yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not an issue of necessarily like I don't know how much you know about like exercise physiology, and Doug, please correct me if I'm wrong. I only know an, not very much. I do know it is significantly easier to lose muscle mass and bone mass and lung capacity and all of those things than it is to gain those things, which is the difference between transitioning from a cis male to a trans woman or
What is cis? What is
Cis is just
cis?
not trans. It just means you are not trans. Thank you, Paige, for the
cisgender.
raid. Yeah. So
So,
it's
It mean
opposing to transgender. So that's it. Cis is just the opposite of trans.
it means the same.
Yeah.
Um, and then so going from a cisgender male to a trans woman, you would be taking hormone replacement therapy. You'd be losing muscle mass, losing bone density, all the things that I think we can all agree that there are biological differences between males and females. But the opposite is not true. It is significantly harder to go from a cis female to a trans male, trans man, and build the bone mass and build the musculature and all of the other things that the Adonis type NFL athletes have built their literal entire lives. So I mean, I don't think that's a fair example.
Thanks, Sieber. Guys, we're looking for opposition. 20,000 likes we can get to a new guest. Go ahead, John.
And then also, John, to your previous point about wanting to keep like bathrooms separate, I think that was probably the gist of your point. Are you for or against gun bans and gun regulations in this country? Sorry, pew pew uh, bans or regulations in this country.
I'm not for anything that restricts the right for someone to defend themselves.
Okay, I hear you. Do you at least partially hold that belief because you think that people will get them anyways, even if they are banned?
So, when you look at how the Second Amendment was formed, when the Constitution was written, um,
I'm a
basically,
law student. I understand the constitutional
yeah.
implications
Well,
of the
yeah,
Second
I
Amendment.
understand that. I get that, but I'm giving you my version of it. So basically, we were all given the right to not only defend ourselves and our homes, but to defend ourselves against tyrannical government, um, enemies of this country and or any other country. And I
Mm-hmm.
think limiting people's rights to defend themselves and their country or their property is against everything that the Constitution stands for.
It certainly is against at least what the Second Amendment stands for in your version. I do want to I want to clarify this though, because a common argument against gun regulation and or excuse me, I'm sorry, Doug. Pew pew regulation and pew pew bans is that a lot of people think that people who commit crimes will get them anyways. Is that something you agree with?
Oh, absolutely. Because
Thanks, Kevin.
one thing is for sure criminals could care less about the law.
Then why is your opinion different whenever it comes to transgender people in restrooms or cisgender people in restrooms?
What
Will
do you mean?
people
The
who commit
laws. Yeah.
well no, if will people commit SA in bathrooms even if it is banned if they're not allowed to go in there?
I think it makes it harder to do it. I don't think that
Well,
we should
you
necessarily be making it easier
you
to
you
do it.
How would it
you
make it
just
harder
said
though? If you're so if you're and I'm going to cut you off, but if you're a cisgender person who's pretending to be trans, what's stopping? Why would that make it harder to just go through that door and do the thing that you want to do?
Because all right, so if if we have laws that say basically if you're trans and you identify as, you can go into this room, this, this protected area, right?
Okay.
So basically, if I wanted to wear a dress and some pump Jimsons, even though I have a goatee and all of that, and I look just
Hmm.
like a man because I am a man, and I
Okay.
just walk on into the women's bathroom and go, "Oh, I'm one of the girls today."
Okay.
Well, that and I'm a predator. All it's
Uh,
doing is it's making it easier for me to do that because no one's looking twice.
but
But if I walk in
y-
there in board shorts and a t-shirt and tennis shoes, people are going to look at me like, why is this man walking into the women's restroom or the women's locker room? And
and then you
and
can do
back
that
to the
thing, and you
sports
can do
thing.
that, but then you can do that thing to an individual in the restroom, anyways. I'm just
Okay, so
it
that
doesn't seem like that would stop it though. That's my whole point.
My,
And how would you even force it anyways? How would you enforce whether someone is trans or cisgender? Like, would you do like a
what I'm
genitalia
saying
inspection?
is
What would you do?
what I'm saying it like if I saw a man walking into a woman's locker room behind my wife or my daughter, I'm gonna be on the news. I'm just saying.
Just because
I
they're
mean,
walking in? So just because
man,
they're
I
walking in,
look.
you're gonna do something?
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, when it comes to the safety of my family and
Uh-huh.
my loved ones, man, I'm not
Uh-huh.
playing with that.
I'm not saying no. I'm not suggesting that you're not. But would you would do something to this trans person even if they didn't do something to your daughter or wife just because they
Hey,
walk
look,
in?
I'm not gonna. I mean, I might ask a question, but if I don't like the answer that I'm about to get, I mean, I'm more than likely going to be on the news. I
What
mean,
what
look,
answer would you not like that would cause you
um,
to, I suppose, in a situation, beat them up or whatever it is you're suggesting you would do? It sounds like you would unalive them in this context.
I'm just saying, as a man, as a father, as a husband, it's my responsibility to protect those that are in my family.
I'm not saying otherwise.
So,
I'm not saying otherwise, but
okay,
like it sounds like what you are suggesting is that you would unalive this individual, you would beat them up
I
simply
didn't say
because
all
they're.
that.
Well,
I didn't
that's what I'm
say
saying. It
all
sounds
that.
like you're. I understand. That's why it says. It sounds like you're suggesting. So if you're not
I mean,
suggesting
it
that, then please
could.
correct me.
It could go that route
But
depending
that wouldn't
on
that
what
would be
that
the same for
person
anybody
wanted to
though.
do.
But John, wouldn't that be the case? So let's say outside of a restroom, you saw a man behind your daughter and wife. Would you still also do? Would you still also go on the news afterwards because of that? Or why is
Well,
it only in restrooms?
it would depend on that person's actions, is what I'm saying.
Exactly, exactly. That's the whole point. Trans or not, it depends on if they do something illegal or harmful or wrong. So it has nothing to
What I
do. So
would
it has nothing to do
most
with them being trans.
what I would most likely, and I'm kind of glad we're talking about this because I want to. I don't, like I said before, I don't know if you're a parent or you have a daughter or whatever, but do you think that women, and I'm going to say biological women, should be forced to, I don't know, be subjected to males' genitalia unwelcomely?
Okay, I will answer that question. I do need to read this out loud though, real quick. J Ro, thank you so much for the $3 on the blue F that starts with a V. WJ Ro in the comments. That's spelled JRO. It says you don't seem to actually care much since your president grabs women by the PUSSY even when they say no. I mean, I don't want to get off topic here, John, but listen, I do agree with J. Rose said. I mean, if this is something that you truly do care about, Trump himself said that he went into the dressing room of the teen pageants, and I mean, so if that's
The
something that you
the
hate so much,
trans
it's just
issue, the trans issue is not why I voted for Trump.
okay.
That had
Again,
nothing
I
to
didn't want
do
to
with
get off
why I
topic with
voted
that
for
statement,
Trump.
but J. Rose, thanks. So, what was your question again? You said
So, do you believe that biological women should be forced to endure um, male genitalia unwelcomed,
well,
being
well, unwelcomely.
out in like a locker room? Do you believe that women who don't want to see this should be subjected to that?
Well, no, because you don't have to look if you're in the locker room. It's like you just don't.
Okay,
You just do your own
so
thing.
right, so I should be able to walk into a woman's locker room and just flash my junk everywhere.
Are you a
And
woman?
oh, why are you looking at it?
Are you a woman?
Why are you thinking about it?
I'm not, because I have morals and I have common decency.
Okay,
And
so then
why are
Mitria.
biological women being given the option of, oh, well, you can go in this closet over here and change if you're uncomfortable.
all right, Mitra, I'll let you go in 2 seconds. J Ro, thank you again. Thank you so much, J Ro. WJ Ro in the comments. Thank you for the two. It says you literally voted for a man that does that to women. Like whether you did vote or not for the
It had
trans
nothing to do
whatever,
with it.
you still vote for that. Go ahead, Mitra. Thank you, J Ro.
Hello, first of all, how are you?
Great, great. How about you?
I'm
Hello,
good.
Mitria.
I just wanted to come up here because we seem to have somebody with some misconceptions about what happens in a woman's bathroom or locker room. So I thought I would come up as trans representation and let him ask a few
Yeah,
questions.
yeah. Go ahead, Mitra, please.
I'm listening.
Go ahead, Mitra.
Well, you're the one that seems to have questions, so what's going on?
So it's not questions, it's just concerns.
Such
Yeah, so go
as,
ahead. Go ahead with the question that you asked me,
So
or whatever.
so so my concern, or all right, I'll ask you the same question that I asked the host here. Do you believe that biological women should be forced to or have male genitalia flashed at them unwelcomely as a biological
do
female
you
in a
think that
woman's.
anybody should have anybody's genitalia unwantedly being subjected to them
Yeah,
in
No,
trans
any
or not.
situation, point
no,
blank, period?
no, I do not.
Right.
Okay,
So, how is letting a trans woman in a female locker room who still
there's no
has
such
his
thing as a female locker room.
Woman
or
locker room.
women's
Women and
locker room,
men's.
I'm
Women and
sorry,
men's.
women's locker room. We want to be like all subjective or technical about it. A woman's locker room,
Words matter.
evidently. Um, I don't
They
agree,
always
but
have, but
whatever. I don't like in a women's locker room. If I walked in there and I just started flashing my junk everywhere, do you think that that's wrong?
Who does that?
I think
I'm
that would be
asking
sort of.
you.
Well, I think that would be wrong
Do,
if you did that in the men's locker room. Not illegal necessarily, but it would be
well,
weird and wrong.
yeah, right. I get that. And like I said before, I don't think that actual trans people are the problem. I think that we're opening up a slippery slope for predators and perverts.
Do you know that for decades, I would even venture to say for close to a century now, trans people they have walked amongst you. They've
Hmm.
used locker rooms, they've used
Yep.
bathrooms, and this entire time, the problem has consistently been white, cisgender, heterosexual men. It was never trans people. It never has been trans people. Statistically, you're going to find very, very few cases, point blank, period, of this being a problem. The only people traveling down that slippery slope are you and people like you.
Okay.
John, that same argument was used with gay marriage, by the way. Remember when they said, "Well,
So
if we allow gay
so
marriage, we'll allow you guys will allow you to marry siblings or dogs or whatever." Same
so
argument was used.
I've already said this before, so I'm going to say it one more time because evidently I didn't make myself clear when I said it the other three times. I don't believe that actual trans people are the problem. What I said was is that it basically opens the door
I get it.
for people who will hijack this movement for the people that this really does affect.
But who will hijack the movement?
Okay, so if I am a pervert or whatever, and I can see an opening to where no one's going to ask any questions about me walking into a woman's locker room or whatever, do you think that that makes it easier or harder
Okay,
for
who
me?
statistically will take advantage of said situation?
I just said I don't think that trans people are the
I
problem.
know, I know, I understand you, but I'm asking. I want to hear you say it. Who statistically would take advantage of that situation?
I think that anyone that basically is a pervert or a predator would do it. And to me, it
Men,
doesn't
cis
matter.
men,
Like, and if
cis
it's,
men, right?
yeah, well,
That's what she's getting
heterosexual
at.
men, yeah.
Heterosexual
Heterosexual
cis men,
men,
true.
yes.
Okay, but remember, John, hold on. Remember when I said if we made laws saying that you have to go in these certain restrooms, like you would likely want, those people can take advantage of those laws also, John. Remember, somebody like me who looks like me can say they're a trans woman with the laws that you would want, and then they can take advantage of that too. It goes both ways. So like this,
Right. I agree with
but then
that.
so then your argument sort of falls flat on its face because these people who you are talking about, these harmful people, they're going to do it regardless. So I don't
Yeah, but
understand.
I'm saying, does it make it easier if they hijack a movement that affects real people like the trans community? Because whether you people believe it or not, I actually believe that trans people have a right to exist and they have a right to pursue happiness. And I think that the gay community has a right to exist and they have a right to pursue happiness. But there has to be guardrails to safeguard people from, I would say again, hijacking a movement that affects real people.
As opposed to
Well, here's the thing.
as opposed to not real people, who would be the opposite of real people here,
What I'm saying is, okay, not all of us are trans, right? I didn't wake up
right?
one day and go, you know what? I think I was born in the wrong body. I don't think that this stuff can be taught. I don't think that you can be turned trans. I
Okay,
don't think that you are born the way you are born.
okay,
And
okay.
unfortunately, there are people that are fighting a real affliction because they feel a certain way. Like, hey, I'm a man and I don't feel like I'm a man. I should have been born a woman or whatever. That is, I can't imagine what that would feel like because it doesn't affect me.
Right.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
so
I appreciate you
I
saying
can't
that.
imagine the turmoil that someone goes through with that. And that's what I mean by these are real issues that affect real people. And
Sure.
you have people that will use that at
I,
their own advantage.
I
And
get what
I
you're saying.
think,
Hold on,
Can I actually?
yeah, Mitch. I
I'm
just got to read
sorry.
this real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
J Rowe, thank you for the 2 on the blue out with the V. Guys, remember if you want to show support, you're welcome to send anything to my failings. It's totally optional. It says maybe your energy should be more focused on the low incarceration rate for P3DOs and harmful men in your demographic, and leave trans people alone. I think that would probably be a good idea as well. Like, thank you, J Rowe. Go ahead, Mitra.
I want to go a little bit deeper, John. First of all, I want to tell you one thing. I do think that I see people that are trying to correct your wording, but I want to give you kudos because I do think that you understand a lot more about trans people than most people do. So I want to say thank you for that. I do think that a little bit of work on the way that you phrase certain things to be more politically correct would be excellent. However, I want to go deeper into your thinking, and I want you to think about something because the exact thing that you're saying right now is exactly how people were talking when they were going after lesbians from going into women's restrooms and women's spaces. The same thing when they were going after black people in sports. All of the same kind of tropes were used. And what I want to break it down to is that a lot of that side, the right, what they've learned to do is they've learned to make people afraid. And they're using that power of making people afraid of trans people to now give you that directional. They want to point you in a different direction, so you're looking away from what they're really doing, and we're being used in that same way that they were before. So if you look back historically, what it all comes down to is they just want people talking about this because they don't want you to look in the other direction because they're doing some shady shit over there. And I hear what you're saying about all of this, but the point I wanted to make was going down that slippery slope. That's the kind of environment that they've created in doing that and making up those lies and then wanting to circulate them. But I do
May,
appreciate most of what you're saying, to be honest.
May, thank you for the 3 on the blue out with a V. It says, why aren't what I think you why don't you hold men accountable rather than targeting a small, highly disenfranchised group of people?
I think that all people should be held accountable for this type of behavior. I'm not. It's not like I don't have anything against the trans community at all. Period. I think that they're people. They're people that are fighting within themselves for who they believe they are. And as I said before, I can't imagine the turmoil that these people go through, and nor do I want to, because I can imagine it gets pretty hard sometimes. But they are people, and they have a right to pursue happiness. Um, at the same time, I believe that there needs to be protections for women and girls. And I believe that anyone that violates women or girls are the lowest form of human. I
Yeah,
can't even.
no, I agree. I
Like
agree.
Trump.
If you
Find a
violate
word.
anybody, okay. However, though, unfortunately, we did hit 20,000 likes, meaning we do need to get to new guests, John. Um, However, though, I do appreciate having the conversation because you're certainly, compared to everybody else I speak to, you certainly are more civil and willing to listen and all of that. So I will, at the very least, appreciate that. Misha or Roca, do you want to say anything to him before I bring him down?
I just want to
Honestly, go ahead. I'm
Go ahead,
sorry.
sir. You
Nope,
go,
I'll be
Meacher.
quiet. Go ahead.
I was going to say, John, just think about the logic that we talked about with pew pews. That you know, you said criminals are going to commit crime no matter what laws we pass. The same applies here. So why are we trying to legislate people out of bathrooms? It doesn't make sense.
Mm, I see your point. I mean, it's not an invalid point. I definitely get what you're saying. Um, I just all I care about is the women and girls being protected. That's all I care about.
All right, John, I do need to bring you down, though, okay? Or wait,
Yeah, that's fine. I
okay,
appreciate
let
it.
me bring you up. Sorry, guys, for the chewing. Sorry. I apologize that you can hear me eating. Don't sue me.
Me
Or if you
too.
want, sue me. I don't
Hello.
give a shit. Sue me if you want. Who cares?
Not soon. Hello, Rikai. How are you?
What's up, Snitch?
I'm good. How are you?
Let me see. Snitch, I assume you probably wanted to come up to speak to that guy, but if you want to say something. What's up, Snitch? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I've just been doing some studying for some exams on Tuesday.
Nice.
I just wanted to say on the bathroom topic, because I thought it was kind of funny.
Uh,
Today there was this old lady in the women's restroom at Aldi's, and I could not be bothered to wait to go to the bathroom, so I went into the men's bathroom. Did it matter? I got a few glares, but nobody gave two shits.
yeah. J-Ro, thank you for the 2 on the blue out the V. It says, sir, it's a public bathroom. Anyone can just go to the bathroom at home if they feel so inclined. Agreed. J-Ro, thank you once again. I appreciate it for all that you sent, J-Ro. It really means a lot. Thank you so much. Remember, guys, if you want to show support, you're welcome to say anything to my parents. Hey, guest. We spoke
Hello.
yesterday, I remember. What's up?
What's up? How you been?
Good. What's going on?
Not much. I just have a question about what do you think about the majority of? I would assume that you would agree that the majority of MAGA supporters are Christian.
Wait, like over 50% of Trump supporters, would you say, are Christian? Or is
I
that what
would
you're asking?
I would guess that would be my. I don't know the
Um,
actual numbers.
I would say I would say the other way around. I would say the majority of Christians probably are Trump supporters. I don't know what the percentage would be as far as Trump
Yeah,
supporters.
I don't
You
know
know what
how
I mean?
you would measure that besides like a poll maybe, but my question is if they believe it's a sin,
Hmm.
do you respect that they
If they believe
don't
if they believe what is it
be
said, being gay or trans or whatever.
being gay or trans,
I,
dressing up as the other gender?
I think you can have whatever opinions and views you want. I think when we talk about implementing these things into laws, that's a different story. Yeah, I mean, do I respect it in the sense that, like, I agree? No, no, I think it's a shit opinion. Just as if you had opinions that one race shouldn't have certain rights over another, right? But you're allowed to have these opinions. Does that make sense?
It's a fair point. I think like when it comes to like should you stop people from transitioning, I don't think that's something that a government needs to regulate. I don't think
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
think that
think
should be the role of government.
I don't think who goes in the bathroom needs to be regulated either. I don't think we need to have checkers.
Um, Yeah, no, I would agree. I think no, I think the government should not be getting in the way of who we sleep with in the bedroom. As far as consenting adults go, who we marry, any of those, or even like when it comes to the sports stuff or whatever. Even if you have the opinion that trans people should play in their respective sports as their born sex, I don't think that should be up to the government to decide those things. I just think
I will
leave that up
say
to that
about this.
organization or that sport, to make these
Mm.
rules or whatever.
So one thing about the sports is that I used to wrestle when I was in high school,
Oh.
and I would wrestle this girl because there wasn't any girl who was around her size, and she was probably 3 weight classes above me.
Hmm.
And, that's probably a good 20, 25 pounds. And if that was a
Yeah, yeah.
man, he would demolish me.
Mhm.
I mean, he would hurt me. It'd be pretty bad. But it would be like if I was wrestling somebody that was a couple weight classes lighter than me. And I'm not a strong guy. That was never my thing. I was very
Mhm.
funky. But so if I joined wrestling on the girls' team, I
Mhm.
would dominate. And I'm not that great of a wrestler. So
Yeah.
what do you think when like a male goes into a female sports
Well,
and
why
just
would you
dominates?
join wrestling on the girls' team?
If I wanted a state title or I wanted to go to college for free,
So
Well,
not you wouldn't be a girl.
if I became transgender, I could. We
You
have a
can't
you're not
transgender
become
athlete in my school.
becoming
transgender.
trans, but I,
You don't
I, I,
become transgender. You are or you aren't.
Mm,
thank you, Tammy. I appreciate it. When I'm talking about sports restroom, well, not restrooms, but when I'm talking about sports, I'm talking about on the professional level. I'm talking about on even the collegiate level. I'm talking about people who are above the age of 18 and all that. When we're
mm.
talking about high school or middle school or things like that, I think that's certainly a different conversation. But that's what I'm talking. I'm talking about professional sports. I'm not talking about kids or
Okay.
high schoolers or things like that.
I think that's
About that.
I think that's a lot more what the concern is though, is when there are people that are under the age of 18 trying to get surgeries or trying to
Well,
transition.
well, again, I don't think those things should be left up to the government, even if you do disagree with that.
Mm,
Again, leave that up to that doctor or the doctors that are involved in that procedure. Leave it up to the patient, the trans individual in this case, and the parents. Those people are the ones who should be making that decision, not the government.
mm. All right, well, I think we have a lot more middle ground. I do have to go and do some
Okay.
online coursework, so I'll see you.
Okay.
I just wanted to
All
hop
right.
in.
Well, take care. Take care. All right.
Take care.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
listen, guys, I'm opening. I'm certainly open to having, and Mitri certainly let me know. But I'm open to having a conversation when it comes to trans people, when it comes to like middle school and high school, right? Again, because I think that is certainly a different conversation if we're talking about people that have not been on hormones or whatever. Different conversation. I'm happy to have that conversation, but I just think again, it's different than when we're talking about on a professional level. Totally different
also,
conversation.
I wanted
Good.
to mention that a lot of like fighting sports are very dependent on skills. Back when I was doing like Taekwondo competitively, yes, there was a difference between like me and the 6'4", 250-pound guy. But
Sure.
when you put me up against somebody who is my weight, even if they were a guy with a little bit more muscle mass than me, I actually kicked ass. Like, there's a reason why I won a lot of the competitions that I competed in, and the only ones that I had a significant disadvantage in were the ones where the girl was taller than me, even if I weighed less. So, like,
Yeah.
when it comes to competitive fighting, there's a lot of skill that's involved, regardless of
Absolutely.
height or weight.
100%.
And yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Snitch. But it's my understanding that females are not weaker because they're a female specifically. It's just because on average they just tend to be smaller in terms of height and size. But like if we equate for that, there doesn't seem to be big differences in musculature and strength, right?
Yeah. So according to the literature, women are actually relatively stronger than men based off of weight to strength ratio when it comes to upper body strength. So
Okay.
they can gain more strength in their upper body relative to body weight, which actually tracks, because if you put me pound for pound and you look at my strength compared to my boyfriend's strength, I'm actually technically stronger than him based off of relative
On a per pound basis,
upper bodies. Yeah.
What about lower body?
Relative
You
upper
mentioned upper.
bounds. Yeah.
Sure, you mentioned upper. What about
Absolute
lower?
strength is different.
Yeah, of course. What about lower body though? You mentioned upper.
Yeah, so depending on the population that you're looking at, it's going to vary. Sometimes absolute strength can be very close to one another, but as far as things go in regards to like absolute strength, it does appear to be that body weight is a little bit more influential on that, just because, well, your lower body carries your entire body. So if you are heavier, then you are going to be stronger on like that absolute and relative basis. But as far as things go, because women do tend to be a little bit more likely to train their lower bodies, there's actually some interesting similarities.
Yeah, I do want to address this comment on YouTube, and we can get to the next guest here in a second. It says, beyond delusional, and this is, I assume, referring to what you said here, Snitch. It says, beyond delusional, there are 5'6" men who can bench 500. You'll never see a 5'6" woman doing that. If you want to respond to that, you can.
Yeah, sure. So women are typically going to weigh less. So the amount of muscle that they have is going to be less because of the fact that they aren't exposed to testosterone to the same degree that men are when they're going through puberty. So when I say pound for pound and based off of like relative strength, I'm talking about lean mass. So for example, I am 130 pounds, approximately 18% body fat, because women tend to be slightly higher in body fat than men. My boyfriend, he's 185 pounds and he's 5'8". Now his max bench is 315. My max bench is 200. If we're going based off of relative strength using lean body mass, I'm stronger than him.
Sure. I see what you're saying. Yeah. All right, guys. Again, we are looking for ops. Okay, ops being anybody who disagrees with the background, voted for Trump, etc. Come on up and request. But if you're looking or if you're watching on the tube, you can also call in. The phone number is periodically being put into the comments. That's a short king, Rookie. Anybody under 5'9"'s a short king?
I'm 6'3", so
Yeah,
yes.
To be fair, I think he's 5'9", but he always says he's 5'8", so...
Oh, he's under representing himself. We don't see that typically with men. We see it the other way around. Sure, okay. Anybody shorter than you is a short king.
I prefer the guys that do what's called height maxing. They're like super
Fuck
tall.
off, Mitra. Oh gosh.
You know,
God,
there's legit surgeries now.
It really pisses me off how funny I find him to be, Clavicular. Like, he's just very unironically funny, you know? Like, it really annoys me how funny I find him to be. Oh, he said something really funny, something maxing. What was it? He was at, like, a party outside, and she was by herself. What was it? Alone maxing, or... God, what the fuck was it? It was really funny. I'll have to find it. canceled.
Who said this?
It'll happen one of these days. Let's be real, guys. One of these days I will get canceled for something. What? I don't know, but it'll happen one of these days. Was it alone maxing, maybe? MAGA maxing? Look maxing?
The RNC is grinder maxing. I'm done.
Oh, that's funny. What the fuck was it? It wasn't alone maxing. It was something else. Somebody, if you can find it, let me know. He was like outside at a party by a pool. It was something alone maxing or by yourself. I don't know what it was. Black, what's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. I am just looking for opposition, though. Are you somebody who voted for Trump or disagrees with the context in the background?
No, actually, I generally agree, but I'd like to, chime in and contribute a little bit to this
Yeah,
my background.
Yeah, I just again, if there's something that you do disagree with, don't take it personally. But I just have enough friendlies up here. Is there something like super quickly that you wanted to say?
Yeah. So for reference.
David, thank you. David, you know I can't do it. I can't do it. Thank you, David. I'm too. I'm too. I don't even know if the word would be nice. Too. Black, don't take it personally. It was one of my mods. I do have a rule though about it not being friendlies, unless it's somebody who typically is they typically kind of host with me or whatever. She was paged to sub. Sure, yes, I'm too submissive. Yes. People, too much of a people pleaser. Yes, too much of a people pleaser to do that. Thank you.
Why? People are terrible.
I don't know why I am. You're right, because they are. But I just don't. I don't know. I just don't like conflict. I don't like, believe it or not, arguments. I don't know. I just don't. So I will people please even to my own detriment. Doug Maxing. Remember, guys, if you are opposition, come on up, okay? We're just looking for ops. You're the same way. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better that some of you guys are the same way. Is this a form of rage baiting? Feels like a better outlet for me. I don't know. It's 9/11, guys. Make a wish. Sorry. Will that
I
get me
don't think
canceled?
that's how that works. I think when we hear 9/11, we have to mourn for like a couple minutes.
Me and my brother always used to do that. It's supposed to be 11/11. Oops. Fuck that one up. Yeah, me and my brother always used to do that. 9/11, make a wish. Nah, that's not too soon. 6/11, where you're at. Hey guys, make sure you guys keep tapping, please, if you can. If you're joining live, click the red follow button on the top left. If you're watching on the tube, make sure you subscribe to me, please. Thank you. Almost 25. Yeah, that's crazy. That's been almost a quarter century, guys, since
Crazy, isn't
9/11.
it?
Isn't that fucking wild? That's been almost a quarter goddamn century.
My pregnant mom and my aunt and uncle were both within a 5-block radius of 9/11 when it occurred.
Oh, no shit, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun. That's funny. Oh boy, oh boy. Alright, who do we got here? Who do we got? Hey, is the phone number being commented on YouTube? If you're watching on YouTube, let me know if you want to call on and I can post the phone number. Yeah, no, David, you got it. Thank you. Grassy ass. How's everybody doing? Snatch, meet you, okay? You guys all doing all right?
I don't have a grassy ass. I guess I'm doing good.
That's good to hear. What about Snitch? You reckon?
I
I
just
have a
went to the gym
20.
today.
That is nice.
Nice. Since we have our call tomorrow, actually.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Me too. It'll be good. I'm excited to get back into the gym. Personally, it'll be good. My cousin was driving to work. To Pentagon. Wow. Oh, Zoom. We may restart at some point, guys, if we don't get somebody. But we'll keep it B for now. There's a lot of opinionated people on YouTube. Why don't you just request to come on up or call on in? Like, just come on up, please.
This has nothing to do with the background, but did you hear about Iran today?
What about them?
They closed the strait again and fired
Yeah.
on 2 Indian
Well,
tankers.
that part I didn't know. The first part I knew. Which was like almost immediately after Trump said it was opened or was reopened, which I think is fucking hilarious. I just think it is. Like
I, th-
he's getting cooked. He's getting cooked so hard, and I
I think it
just enjoy it.
I think it was like 12 hours after he posted it on Truth Social.
That's so funny. Right,
Oh
MAGA
man.
supporters. Because if that happened to Biden, that would be because he's such a weak president. They don't respect him, or they think they can take advantage of him. Is that the case now with Trump? It would have to
Oh,
be, right?
Peabody, is that true? That was the very first thing my dad said whenever I told him that. He was like, "I bet someone just made millions of dollars."
Yeah, 760 million of oil futures sold. Well, what? Oh shit! Wouldn't they have should have sold after? Well, did you say before or after? Because it would make sense for them to sell after. No, wait. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, never
because if
mind.
they say it's open,
Yeah,
it'll drop the price.
yeah. Might be. I think
Did you
John
hear
is.
about Caitlyn Jenner and her gigantic FAFO?
Well, I knew she was on
No.
Fox. What was the conversation again? Because I didn't really watch the clip.
She had to renew her passport.
That's
And
right.
even
That's
though
right.
all of her
Yeah.
documents say female on them, she got her passport back with a big ol' M for male.
Right. And yeah. Okay. I saw. Yeah. I guess a small thing with that. And what it seemed like from the very small portion I saw was that she wasn't upset this is happening to trans people. She's upset that it's happening to herself. Right. That
Correct.
was the impression that I got from the small little thing that I saw. Like, it's only because it's now affecting her that she seems to have an issue. Yes.
Pretty
So,
much.
well, FAFO, as they like to say.
So I haven't
Uh,
heard much about her recently. Is she part of the MAGA movement?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, um, yeah. She's been a
She's got Trump's number in her phone. She has a cell phone number.
she's been a
Ugh.
pretty open Trump supporter for a while.
And
I
after she got her passport back with an M on it, she even wrote him a letter and then went to Mar-Lago, but he wasn't there.
She was against trans people's wars. Yeah. If you guys remember, this was probably closer to when Trump was either running for his first term or was sort of in the beginning of his first term or so. She was more so like in the limelight of things, talking about like restrooms and sports and things like that. And she was like a tokenization for all Trump supporters in that, like, oh, we have Caitlyn Jenner who also agrees with my viewpoint, therefore it must be correct because she is trans, and she has this opinion, therefore it must be correct. So they really like used her for quite a while, as they do with just other trans people, because we see a small minority of trans people agree with MAGA on certain viewpoints, and they love to tokenize those people. Hey, Shadow, how you doing?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I just need to know your age, please, before we have a
Oh, I'm
conversation.
23.
Thank you. What is on your mind?
I was very surprised you invited me, so I appreciate it. I'm not really a pro-Trump guy. I am considered Republican, but I'm not really happy. I'm more traditional Republican, not this whole new shit Trump's been
Okay.
engaged with.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's a little
I see your
political,
comment. I see
but
why you got invited up. It wasn't by me. It was by an opposite or by a mod. But it says, hasn't Trump been proven to be the most pro LGBTQ Republican president?
yeah, I
Google it.
read
I'm
something
pretty
about
sure.
that.
What do you mean by that?
So I was, I have like these Google articles that pop up every time I try to search something. And I remember seeing something that said that Trump has been the most LGBTQ friendly Republican president, and I was very surprised. Here, I'm gonna try to pull it up. Give me 1 second. I can read the article. Give me one
You,
second. I'm
you
gonna
can
try to
pull it
pull it
up.
up.
I'm just wondering by what metric that is being used.
Can y'all still hear me or no?
Not when you're off screen, no.
Feelings.
I assume so, right?
Okay,
Go
hold
ahead.
up. Let me try to get my computer up. Give me 1 second.
No, you're good, Shadow.
Give
Yeah,
me one
just let me
second.
know if you
I'll
can
try
pull
to.
that up. Let me know what metric they are using to come to such decision, rather than it just being like an
Yeah, I
opinion
got you.
or something.
Give me
Okay.
1 second.
Hey, people on the tube,
Do
thank
over.
you for watching so far. If you guys can like the live on the tube, that would be great. I would
Yeah,
appreciate
where's my
it. Same thing on
computer?
TikTok. The first Chem, that's right. He did, yeah. His first term, he said that a bit, or running for his first term, he did say that more often. That he was the most pro LGBT Republican ever.
Do
What
you
anime
have
are you
a
watching?
computer in front of you? I can't find my
I,
laptop.
I I do. Would you want me to pull up here?
Just look up keywords Trump most LGBTQ Republican president and see which one pops up. If you could just read off the
Do you
publisher, let me
remember
know which
what
one it is.
do you remember where it was from, the article?
No, I know it was some news site. I know it was independent.
Okay.
Just if you
What
could just
pops
name the
up
ones you
is
see.
Washington
Okay.
Post. We have something called them.us. We have GLAAD, that's GLAAD, Science
I think it was
Direct.
that one. I think it was
Which one?
that one.
GLAAD? GLAAD?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, let's see here. Um, yeah, I don't think this is the one that you want because this is the Trump accountability tracker as far as measuring his attacks on LGBTQ people. Uh, so I don't think that one would be it.
I just wish I could find my
We'll
laptop.
keep
I'm
that
sorry
one
about
up
this. I should have been
too.
more prepared.
Yeah, because this mentions a lot of things in regards to what he said about LGBTQ people. So I don't think that would be what you want.
But yeah, no,
Um,
I remember just reading something about that. And I don't know because I don't know enough about that to be like, say that I'm educated about it because I don't like speaking on things I don't know 100%. You know what I mean?
mhm.
But I remember reading something about that and it caught me off guard. And isn't one of his cabinet members gay?
Yeah, I
Musk.
mean, possibly. Did you say Musk? uh, I don't think that's really relevant in the sense that, like, there are still many pieces of legislation that are being pushed through that are harmful to the LGBT plus community, regardless of if there are people in his cabinet or not that are gay or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? So, like, that's how I'm measuring it, not by who
Okay.
he has in his cabinet or who he associates with.
Where the hell is my computer? I'm sorry. Give me 1 minute. If I want, you can keep talking. Once I find it, I'll
Okay.
see if I can find it.
I appreciate you
Article I
allowing
was
that.
talking about.
It's probably Cash Patel.
I mean, we did see him prancing around his living room, so
Do we want to take bets on what anime he's watching?
no,
Did
but
y'all
I
hear any
wish you
anime
would turn
going
it
on?
up so we could all hear. I'm just kidding.
No,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
just I
sorry.
was curious about what it was.
It's this new zombie one I found. It's let me pull it up. It's 100 something. Hold up. It's like a Zom 100 bucket list of the dead. It's this
Have you watched
guy
the new?
who's in a zombie
Go ahead, sorry.
apocalypse and he like is excited not to work anymore, so he has like a list of things he wants to do before he dies.
Have you
Hey,
watched season 3?
but by the way, this is
No, I just started it. I'm on season one
hold
right
on,
now.
extremely off topic, but I should probably just ask this in Discord. But did somebody in my Discord kick a Rob off of my Discord? I got a message from him saying such. If so, let me know if you did and why.
So I can't find my laptop. I'm gonna quickly just see if I can pull up Google real quick. So if you can't hear me, I apologize. Just give me 1 second. I want to get that article for you.
Oh, well, there we go. Got a text about it. All right, thank you.
Sorry if that was off topic. I just was curious.
Yeah, no, you good. Keep tapping and sharing, guys. If you voted for Trump, hit the request button. Make sure you guys send in your heart me. If you guys haven't done so, please, please, I'd really appreciate that. Please and thank you. Ooh, we have a request.
Tim, no one said it, but we can see actions. We're well aware.
Hey, Taylor, I see you in the request box. Did you mean to request? So just let me know, because I'm pretty sure you're a friendly.
Does anybody actually buy the excuse, well, hey, I have a gay person in my cabinet, so I must like gay people?
Yeah, I just think that
Does that work for anybody?
not for me.
I feel like that's the same as I have a black friend, so I'm not racist.
I was
Yeah,
about to say.
yeah, it's in the same vicinity as that. I cannot type. There we go. All right. Who we got? All right, just Shadow, remember again, we can't hear you if you're off screen and speaking, so whenever you get whatever you need to get, just pop back up, okay?
And if you're off screen for too long, it'll kick you automatically.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 minutes or something like that. Taylor, I'm going to bring you up, because you keep, again, I'm pretty sure you're friendly, but let's see. Hey, Taylor, did you mean to come up?
No, I did not. I don't know how to work TikTok. I'm
I
sorry.
got you. You're okay. I forgive you. I'll bring you down. Take care. All right. Yeah, I agree with you, Red Truck. It's almost certainly not going to happen. Not at all.
If I'm remembering correctly, I think the only vaguely pro LGBTQIA plus thing that he has said was asking about whenever he was asked about Caitlyn Jenner, actually. And he
Can
was
y'all hear
like, I
me?
don't care what bathroom she uses. Yeah.
It's called the Log Cabin. The Log Cabin Republicans. You can look it up for me. I can't be too long because it'll kick me off.
Okay. Trump is assembling the most modern pro-LGBT Republican presidential cabinet in history.
Yeah. And then someone said something about how he's pro LGBTQ because of that. Now, I do get what you guys are coming from, saying like, just because you have a cabinet member that's gay. I mean, I do agree. It could be like the whole black friend thing.
Yeah.
But
That's
like
my
I said,
whole...
I'm not pro Trump, but I'm just more like I'm more on the fact if something's right, I believe that. I'm more a realist or a facts.
Uh-huh.
You know, I focus more on facts.
So,
And my thing is like, I don't know Trump enough to be like, oh, he's pro LGBTQ, but I would think that if someone hates gays or anything of that nature, he wouldn't put him as a cabinet member. But it also could be like a publicity thing where he's just trying not to look bad. You know what I mean?
yeah, so I am of the viewpoint that actions speak louder than words, right? So, you know, he can say certain things or do this or do that, and I see what you're saying, that if you don't like all these people there, you're not going to have them as part of your cabinet or whatever. But Trump really operates a lot on like transactional things. If something benefits him or whatever, then it doesn't really seem to matter. But again, at the end of the day, there's been numerous executive orders that he has personally signed and wrote, right? 'Cause that's what a president can do, that have harmed people in the LGBT plus community specifically. So I think that sort of like outweighs anybody that he may have in his cabinet.
Didn't he like sign a bill like trying to ban gay marriage again? I could be wrong.
No, well, no, God, no.
Oh,
I mean, I want to put it past them, but no, most of these things are more so directed towards transgender individuals. But like kicking trans people out of the military was something that he did. Banning gender affirming care for anyone under the age of 19. I mean, there's been numerous other things, but those are like two big things.
well, I'm in the military, so I know the whole transgender thing. We had a whole brief about it. There was articles put on billboards, and a lot of people were
So
talking about it.
I'm a veteran. I was in the military about 10 years ago, so I'm very familiar with the briefings and all that. And I imagine you guys did. I'm curious as to what they said in those briefings, if you don't mind letting me
So
know.
no, yeah, no. I was Marine. Now I'm Navy. They were talking about, if I'm correct, it was something about if you claim yourself to be transgender. I'm again, this is verbatim. I wasn't really paying
Uh,
attention. Briefs get annoying. You don't
yeah.
care about them. But anyways, it was more verbatim of you claim to be this, or if you have any history of what was it? The name was something dysphoria,
Gender
gender
dysphoria.
dysphoria.
Yeah.
That you need to report that, and you can keep your bonus, you can keep your benefits, but you need to get out. And you had like a 6 month waiting period, or like a 6 month period where they process you out. It was administrative separation. I'm not sure if they got a general discharge or honorable. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, the only difference between it, so you can have a general discharge under honorable conditions, you can have a general
yeah.
under dishonorable, and all that stuff. So I think anything other than having an honorable, I mean, first of all, you shouldn't be kicked out for that in the first place. Secondly, if you are, it's like, I think anything other than giving a fully honorable discharge is really fucked up, to say the least. But
I
yeah,
do have a little
I mean, there's
disagreement.
just, I just, uh, as you know, you have to pass certain things. You have to meet certain standards in order to join the military to begin with. Trans, gay, straight, whatever the fuck you are, you have to pass certain things, right? So, like, these people are already in the military, many for a long period of time, some for 10, 15 plus years. And then now they're
Yeah.
kicked out simply because there's an executive order. Um, there's no justification for that, in my opinion.
Did you read this article?
Shadow, Mitra's talking now.
Oh, sorry. Say again.
Did you read this article
Which article?
that you wanted to bring up from the log cabin Republicans?
I skimmed through it. I couldn't be off the app too long. I wouldn't get kicked
It's
out.
literally just an ass kissing article about who Trump was putting together before he even got back into presidency. And when you read through it, it's actually kind of funny because it talks about how RFK Jr. is a huge advocate for LGBTQ rights as well. But can you tell me what STI plagued the gay community throughout all of the 80s that caused a bunch of death and destruction in our community? And then now they're defunding all of the research around the world for it.
That to me?
Yeah, it was the AIDS epidemic.
No, I don't. I don't. Oh, the AIDS epidemic. Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
about that.
they've defunded almost all of the AIDS research and any sort of thing to treat it while it's happening, so it doesn't spread specifically from other countries back to this country. They
Was
don't
that the
care what's happening.
USAID
They've defunded it.
Was that the USAID thing?
No.
Yes, it's part of
Oh,
USAID.
yes. Oh,
Well,
my
I
part
bad.
of it
Sorry.
is,
disagree
not
with
all of it, but part of it
USAID
is, yes.
paying for other countries' medical things. I disagree with that. I don't
It
want
wasn't
my
just
money.
other countries, though.
Say again?
It wasn't just other countries.
Yeah, I'm just saying I disagree with USAID though being paid for. Just in that sense. Now, I don't agree with AIDS research being, terminated here in the States. I do think that could be very negative. But I also don't think we're getting very far with the research because there's still no cure. There's still
Whoa! That is not true. We have gotten pretty far with the research. Have you ever seen the glowing cat study?
No, I've not. I don't have
Yeah,
that.
so I believe here. Let me look it up specifically. Glowing.
We're months away from eradicating it. Like
So-
we literally have found ways for it to not appear. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Stitch.
There's more in there.
So first of all, we already have certain medications which can basically ward off HIV turning into AIDS. And this allows people who are diagnosed with HIV to live long, happy lives, which is incredible, first of all. Second of all, there are glowing cats, which were genetically modified, which allow the cats to resist the feline form of AIDS, basically showing that we are very close to finding ways to treat AIDS. And this was back in 2011. So imagine what we are capable of doing now.
Assuming that the research we were doing was the government was doing it, not a private pharmaceutical company. Do y'all hear me?
Say that again, Chad. I'm sorry.
I'm saying I'm assuming that the research that was being done was government ran, not by a private pharmaceutical company.
Snitch, do you want to respond? I don't
Yeah,
know
so
specific.
there's two different ways that we can go about generating a cure. So usually what happens is, so first of all, the glowing cats thing, that is non-industry funded research conducted by academia. A lot of the initial developments in a lot of drug findings are conducted in academia, and usually after either scientists move on to industry, or you have industry scientists who were trained in academia, who use what they learned in academia to go on and further develop more drugs. So there's various different pathways, but academia is a separate sector of science than industry. Industry is funded by pharmaceutical dollars, pharmaceutical profits. Academia is funded by university dollars, which are distributed based off of scientists basically voting on where the money goes from the government. So scientists will apply for government grants. Those grants will be awarded based off of what scientists decide. And then those scientists can disperse that money according to what the grant was for. And this is not funded by industry. It is not lobbied by industry. And there are also several other ways that academic scientists can play a part in reviewing the grants that scientists put in. So for example, as an undergrad, when I was first doing one of my first internships as a researcher, I had the pleasure of reviewing grants and helping out with the process. And obviously, while I didn't make the final decision, my PI did, I got a chance to see how the money in science is distributed. And in academia, at least, there is not a lot of bias that is involved, and there is no industry company involved.
Interesting. I didn't know all that. It's kind of cool that you were undergrad, though. It's kind of off topic of that. It's kind of cool.
Oh, I'm not an undergrad anymore. I'm actually planning on pursuing my PhD very soon. I'm a master's student, halfway through.
Congrats on that. College is always a good thing. Well, there's some college degrees I feel like are bullshit, but that one's important, so that's good. If I can go back real quick, I don't want to go too far back, but the transgenders in the military. Now, being, Marine Corps and then now Navy, but I was in the combat sector. I was amphibious assault for 4 years. I could agree on some kind of sense that I don't think people who are taking hormones that, change their body and mind, because that does do that, should be in a combat kind of job. Behind
like testosterone when you can't get your dick up?
Huh?
Like testosterone when you can't get your dick up?
Well, if it's a male, your body's made to have those hormones. And like I said, people who want to be trans, it's their thing. I'm not
What do you mean be trans?
What do you mean by made
this is
to
not
have those
true.
hormones? Yeah, go
This
ahead,
is
Snitch,
not
you can
true.
respond.
So, men have the same kind of testosterone receptors as us women do. The only difference is that there's more testosterone in your body, which is part of the reason why. So, for example, I'm not sure if you understand this, but technically the clitoris is the tip of down there. And
Yeah, no,
so, if you look at the other homologous structures that are down there, you'll quickly notice that the female reproductive anatomy is literally just a miniature version of the male reproductive anatomy that has been kind of inverted and squashed inside of the body. And this is the reason why men can have gynecomastia, the reason why women can develop extremely large down there. And there's various other things that you can notice with certain individuals who are a little bit different. So, for example, SRY syndrome, androgen insensitivity syndrome, there's actually very numerous case reports, very surprisingly, of women who basically went on their entire lives, got pregnant, had a menstrual cycle, no assistance in pregnancy, and find out years later when their kids have kids that they have XY chromosomes. And this is just because the gene that encodes what makes you you, it's not really all that big. So it's not the entire Y chromosome. And if you have a little snippet of that gets, I guess, cut and pasted onto your X chromosome, then, well, you're functionally going to be, you could be a male, you could be a female. It just kind of depends on how your genes are expressed.
I think I've read something about that. If I'm wrong, correct me, but there's been cases where women, right, when they're trying to have kids with their significant other, they actually had testicles that were, instead of a uterus, and they couldn't give birth. If I'm off track, I apologize.
I think you're mistaking ovaries, or like ovaries or testicles in the place of ovaries. However, there's quite a bit of reports. So, for example, if you look at, you can just Google this number and it'll come up alongside PMI, the 4 letters PMID 180000096. Just to give that to you again, PMID 180000096. This is a case report on the report of a fertility in a woman with predominantly 46XY karyotype in a family with multiple disorders of sexual development. Very interestingly enough, she had no issues with getting pregnant. She had menstruation regularly, gave 2 births to 46XY daughters, with complete gonadal dysgenesis. So, very interestingly enough, it is possible for a woman to have XY chromosomes and be completely functional.
Well, I can get that, but what I was trying to say about the whole military thing is that, under high stress situations, and this is an analogy that makes sense to me, so I'm gonna explain it. It's kind of like, let's say we have 2 vehicles, one runs on diesel, one runs on gas, right? And if you try putting gas into the diesel vehicle, it's not gonna run properly. And so my thing is, like, when someone's in the middle of transitioning and taking hormones, and it's new to them, right? I believe that it can cause, and there's science to back this. Like I said, I think there's definitely jobs for them to do, and I think this doesn't target just transgenders. This targets everyone. I think if you're not 100% there in the brain, no matter what gender you are, that you should not be behind a gun.
But the issue is, hold on, Snitch, I'll leave you 1 second. The issue, though, with what you said, there's a couple of things. One, they kicked all trans people out of the military, whether they're on hormones or not. So that clearly isn't the reason.
That's just my disagreement. That shouldn't have happened.
Well, then, yeah. So then that wouldn't be the reason as to why that's the case. And secondly, again, there's men who are on TRT and women who are on birth control that have been kicked out. And thirdly, as you already said, they can have jobs where they're not deployed in that common sense. But go ahead, Snitch.
Also, I wanted to mention that this is not true. So many bodybuilders take exogenous hormones, specifically testosterone. And while they do experience virilization, they don't necessarily experience like some crazy shift in personality. Same thing goes for men. In reality, taking exogenous hormones do not make you an angry maniac. It actually just enhances what is already there. So if you were already an angry maniac, that's just going to make you even more of an angry maniac. If you were a bad person, that's just going to make you even more of a bad person. But if you are actually a good person, it's not going to do anything negative to you. I know this because I've actually worked with several bodybuilders that are on exogenous hormones. So I have firsthand experience. Additionally, there is no science to back up what you are saying, that there are significant flip-flops in, I guess, going from good person to crazy maniac. Usually it's just crazy maniac to more crazy maniac. And additionally, I just would like to mention that it is not like putting diesel into a car that takes gas. It's more like putting diesel into a car that can morph into another car that takes diesel. Because in reality, the actual sexual organs, as well as just sexuality in humans in general as a biological concept, is a very squishy concept, which is why women who are on gear can become more masculinized. It's also the reason why hormone therapy in transitioned individuals does work, and it helps to prevent or ensue the growth of certain features.
Was going to get there, that I believe that over time it kind of, transitions in the body more smoothly. And I'm not saying that, it makes you a bad person. What I'm saying is I know for a fact it does mess with your mood. And if a woman's body is designed for certain things, uterus, giving birth, all that, the hormones that are, naturally producing in your body. And if you put
So that's not true. There's many women who are completely infertile, and women who actually do handle higher levels of testosterone fairly well. I being one of them. I have PCOS, specifically the androgen subtype of PCOS. So I have very high testosterone for a woman. I'm not overly aggressive. I just love to lift weights. And I don't think that makes me like an overly aggressive monster. And it doesn't really change your personality. Again, it just makes you more of what you already are. So if you're already a bad person, I don't think you should be in the military anyways.
You can respond, Shadow. Hey, guys, again, we're looking for opposition, okay? So if you agree with Shadow, you voted for Trump, you disagree with the context of the background, hit the request button at the bottom of the screen, please. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you call on. Shadow, go ahead. Shadow?
If you're talking, we cannot hear you.
He just dropped, guys. Nobody dropped him. Nobody kicked him. He just left. He's like, fuck, I got nothing.
Track star.
He's like, fuck, I got nothing to say. That I'm out of here. Oh gosh. All right, well, look for us. Yeah, I guess he did not like what you said there, Snitch.
Like
Yo.
putting gas into a
Damn.
diesel.
That was good though.
Can you hear me?
Oh, hey, Random, how you doing?
What's going on?
Hey, not much.
I'm
I just need to know your age. I just need to know your age, please, for TikTok
I'm
terms of service.
36. 36.
Okay, cool. All right, what's on your mind?
Well, I was invited. I mean, I just seen your live or whatever, and I seen your description and everything on MAGA, and I'm not MAGA or anything.
MAGA, hear me roar. Okay.
But I don't think they really hate the community. I just think that a majority of them are religious, and they don't understand. Sorry, and they don't.
Are you
and they don't
are you in
understand
opposition? Random, I'm just curious. Are you? Did you vote for Trump? Are you
No, I didn't. I didn't vote. I didn't vote for Trump or
Okay. I think you accidentally. I think you accidentally got brought up then, because I'm only looking for people who are trying to debate, like people who are in disagreement.
Right.
So yeah, I think you accidentally got brought. Don't take it personally. I'm just only looking for people to debate with. Okay, but you probably are right. Yes, the majority of them are Christians, and obviously they have their views on things as to
right. They don't understand
are.
their religion or anything like that, or why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or why?
No, for sure. Yeah, I hear you, man. Let me go ahead and bring you down. Let me bring you back to the comments. But thanks for coming up, and appreciate you being in agreement. Improv for 10 minutes. I don't know about that. All right. Well, we have a good amount of people watching on the tube. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're enjoying the live. And if you guys can all like the live stream, I would appreciate that. And you can call in. The number is being posted in the comments.
Man, I'm reading my protocol because I have to come up with the list of ingredients that I need. Well, I'm talking like it's a recipe. The list of chemicals and things that I need to tell my PI to purchase for our experiment. And I'm reading off this list, and I feel like I'm a witch making a concoction from a fairy tale. Chicken embryo extract, horse serum, fetal bovine serum.
What the?
Goodness.
What on earth?
Wart of frog, hair of toad.
Remember, guys, we're just looking for opposition. Mackenzie, how are you doing?
Okay.
Oh, I was not expecting that voice. I just need to know your age, please, before we move forward with the conversation.
23.
All right. How are you doing? You doing okay?
Yeah. I'm doing
All right, cool. All right. So, did you vote for Trump or in support of him?
Yeah, I voted for Trump.
Cool. Okay, cool. What are your views on LGBT plus community?
Me, I don't have a problem with it. Like, if you're lesbian, gay, or bisexual, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
It's just everything afterwards, in my opinion, is
What
not,
is everything afterwards? Can you define it?
Yeah, like everything after the B.
like,
yeah, go ahead. What's everything after the B?
Like transgender.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then Q?
Just another word for gay.
Okay, so that's okay then. You're okay with that then, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just another word for gay.
Okay, great.
It's like
Okay, and then I?
I don't know what that is, or the A.
Okay, and then, so you disagree with everything after the B, yet Q you do agree with, and you don't know what I and A is.
No.
Okay, do you hear that, Sons?
Would you like me to explain what I means?
Sure.
Yeah, it means intersex. So you're against people who are born the way they are.
Intersex? That means you're just the same person who you are when you were born. I don't see why that.
You said you were against everything after the B.
Yeah, I don't know what the I and A stand for. I knew queer stood for Q, but
I just told you what the I standed for.
I mean, if you were born a male and you are a male, then I don't see a problem.
No. Intersex are individuals who are born with. It could be like, for example, you're born with an additional pair of gonads. So, in addition to your ovaries, you have testicles. You could be born with basically androgen insensitivity syndrome. You can have XY chromosomes, like that other case report I just mentioned. Individuals who fall on the spectrum between male and female.
Mackenzie, you have a very interesting bio in relation to the topic that we're speaking on.
I mean, I'm not bullying anyone. I'm just saying I don't agree with it. Like people who are intersex, that's birth defects. I mean, they can't. You can get surgery to change those, but they were born with those. There's nothing they can do about them being born with that.
But you said that you don't agree with them.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning, I don't know what I and A stand for. If you're
so how can you say that you don't agree with things you don't understand?
I just explained what the I stood for. So approximately 136 million individuals on planet Earth are born with the I. So you either are not against the I, or you are just like not listening to what I'm saying.
I mean, for what you were saying, like a man can be born, like a woman can be born with testicles and still have everything else. I mean, that's a birth defect. I mean, you can't.
Intersex is a multitude of different things.
Yeah, so individuals are not just born male or female. They're also born with various intersex chromosomes, such as Turner syndrome, which only contains X. You've got Klinefelter syndrome, which is XXY. You have SRY syndrome. You have female XYs, females with XY chromosomes, like that case report I just brought up. So no, you're not just born male or female. There are also intersex individuals out there. And the intersex, the I in intersex, is what I stands for in LGBTQIA.
This is what I'm saying. I'm like, if you're born that way and you identify as male or female, there's no problem, in my opinion.
No, you
All of
can't
them are born that
identify.
way.
So you're not identifying as male or female, you're identifying as intersex because you're a little bit of both.
You can only be one gender. I mean, if you were born as a
No,
female,
you're not
then you're
just
a
born
female.
one gender. There is not just one gender. Or sorry, there is not just one technique. Well, yeah. There are intersex conditions that are in between. So, for example, there are internal anatomy variations where somebody could have the absence of a uterus but have, let's say, internalized testicles, stuff like that. There are various structures that are a little bit in between, so you're not just born male or female. I hate to break it to you.
I mean, if you're born with it, I mean, there's really nothing that I can make you say to change your mind of what you are. I mean, if you're
Right.
born,
Kind of like
if
being
you're born that way,
trans.
there's nothing that I can do.
Right. Kind of
I
like
mean,
being lesbian or gay or trans. There's not really anything you can do. You're born that way.
Yeah, people aren't just waking up one day or deciding throughout the day to say like, "Hey, I'm gonna be trans." Like that's not how that works. And I think a lot of people on the right have a fundamental misunderstanding of things. They believe that these trans people are just deciding on a whim, right? Like that's not how it is at all.
I mean, that's the way I see it. It's not everybody
Well,
else, but
but
that's
that
why
doesn't
I
mean
say I don't
that's
have it.
right. But that doesn't mean that's the way it is, though, right?
For
If being transgender was just a choice, like you're suggesting, then there wouldn't really be any transgender people, considering how they're being treated today and how they're spoken about. Why would anyone voluntarily choose to get that treatment? Nobody would. Almost no one would, at least. So obviously, it's not a choice.
what does the A stand for? Like
It's not a
anal, I
response.
guess. I don't know.
Anal.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell it stands for. I'm not gonna lie. I have no clue.
Mm.
Typically,
It
Okay.
stands for asexual.
Yeah, it stands for asexual.
That's for anal.
You know what asexual
Guys, we're looking for opposition,
is?
please. We're looking for opposition.
No, other than the only things I do understand is lesbian, gays, and bisexual. After everything, well, and queer, pretty much the same thing as gay. It's just used to be an insult to gay people.
Queer is not just the same thing as gay. Queer is just anything that is outside of the societal typicalities. That's what it actually stands for with queer. It means you may not just be in the box of lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, or any of the others. So you might consider yourself queer because it's easier than having to go through any other labels. That's what it's really there for. But the whole point is that the others exist, and for you to come up here and go, I don't agree with anything after the LGB, but not understand what any of it means is diabolical.
Like I said, it's my opinion. I mean, I just don't.
I know, but
It's my opinion that you should read, but I wasn't loud about that until just now.
Mackenzie, I understand it's an opinion, but it doesn't seem to hold a whole lot of weight if you disagree with something, but you don't know what it is. Like, imagine if I said, I disagree with people eating pizza, and you said, what is pizza? And I said, oh, I don't know what it is. That would make me sound really stupid, right? If I said that and I didn't know what pizza was. The answer would be yes. So, why do you have an opinion about something you don't know about at all?
I mainly have I I just don't agree with transgender people and what the other dude said. Asexual.
Okay, but you can't
Like,
disagree with somebody's existence, though. You just can't. I mean, maybe you can say the statement you disagree with maybe certain things that they do. All right, whatever. But like, you can't disagree with who somebody is.
I mean, you can disagree with them. Like, I
You
can
disagree with the
disagree with that.
actions. You don't disagree with who they are. You disagree with the actions.
I mean, like, if you don't disagree with like a child toucher or a rapist or
P3O, P3O, yeah.
murderer.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but that's an action. That's an
Yeah, but
action.
we don't like your president either.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the things that you mentioned, those are actions. So you certainly could disagree with those things.
yeah, but if you do those, they're wired into your person. I mean, you don't just do it out of nowhere.
Okay, great. So what things are transgender individuals doing that you do disagree with? And guys, keep tapping. We can get to
Like
50,000 likes. New guests at that point. Go ahead.
like transgender women trying to go into women's spaces. I don't agree with it.
Why not?
In my
Transgender
opinion,
women
it's,
are women, so why would they not
Yeah.
go into women's spaces?
Yeah, that was interesting that you did call them women. But why not? What do you disagree with about them doing that?
Doug, I need you to wipe your beard right now, or I'm
Oh,
gonna
shit.
make nasty jokes.
I mean, it's
What do you disagree?
that is for where a biological female is supposed
No,
to
it's
go.
not.
Like,
Nothing on a bathroom has ever said this is for the biological sex only. They are labeled men and women, which are genders. Those are not sexes. And transgender women fall into the social category of women. So they use a woman's restroom. So why do you have a problem with that?
if you don't,
If I
if you
found out that
don't go in
if
there and
if somebody found out that they were a guy but they had XX chromosomes because the gene that encodes for a lot of the things that make somebody masculine got somehow recombined and added onto one of the X chromosomes. Just out of curiosity, would that individual be able to now go into the woman's restroom because they have XX chromosomes?
if they look like a man and have everything as a man, no. You should go to the male bathroom.
So there was a lady who was taking up a lot of time in the restroom today. So instead I went into the men's bathroom. Is that a problem?
I mean, I don't agree it'd be safe for women for them to go into a male bathroom because you never know what kind of person is in there, what kind of man.
Hey, Mackenzie, I have a person up on my background here. I need to know what bathroom they should use.
I mean, they look like a male. I mean, female, but you can tell they're trans. There are some women. It does look like a woman, but also looks like a man at the exact same time. I mean,
Well then,
So they can use whatever bathroom they want. They don't have to pick. They can just go to wherever they want to go.
it depends on where you are. I mean, if you look, she looks way more like a man, so I
Well,
believe
that's a
that.
woman who experiences PCOS. So unfortunately, that's what you would refer to as a biological woman. And she's going to use the women's restroom. But people like you who are ignorant to the fact of who people are, we know who we are. We don't need your help. But you want to stick your nose into someone else's business because your life is boring or I don't know what other reason. You're gonna put people like her in danger because then you're gonna start screaming out in public while a man just went into that bathroom, and then people are going to want to move in on her, and then they're going to harass her in the restroom, and then it could turn into a very bad situation very quickly. Or what you could do is you could just let that person go into the fucking bathroom because they know who they are and they know what bathroom they are the most safe and comfortable in, and then they can use the restroom and leave and go about their day. Or you can be the one that disrupts everything because you don't agree with something that you don't understand.
Guys, remember, 50,000 likes, we can get to a new guest on TikTok, okay? I see there's a couple people in our request box. We'll get to you shortly. Go ahead, Mackenzie.
I mean, if I were just on the street and at first glance it does look like a man, but if then I would ask them and be like, hey, what do you think you're doing? You can't go in there.
Why do you have to ask them? It's none of your business.
I mean, if you look like a full-grown man with a full beard.
Why do you have to ask them? It's none of your business.
Because in my opinion, it's the right thing to do.
It's none of your business. Mind your own business. Stay completely in your lane.
Okay, let's say that person does go into the female bathroom and does something to one of the women. You still gonna support them for that?
This is a woman on the background. Who says they're gonna do anything but go in there and pee?
Exactly. You never know what kind of person.
So are you gonna stop it?
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna tell him, be like, "Hey, man,
you're not gonna ask anything because it's none of your business."
I mean, I will.
And I looked at your profile there, Mackenzie. My guess is you'd walk up to this woman and she would go, "Who the fuck are you?" And you would tuck tail and go the other way. So what you could do is you could just mind your own business.
You know, just because I have a few videos on my profile doesn't mean I show my full character. I mean, I ain't no bitch. My mom didn't raise me to be a bitch.
We'll see.
No, I don't know about that.
I dare you to ever approach me and question me on why I'm going to use the restroom that I'm going into, and we'll see who your mama raised.
If you look like a man, I'm gonna say something. I mean,
do your worst, baby, because it's gonna get real ugly real quick. And I'm in a wheelchair and still not afraid.
Okay, I mean,
the thing is, what you could do, Mackenzie, is you could avoid all of that if you would mind your own business. Why is it that white men have this weird thing about them that they have to be in everybody else's business but their own? Is your life that boring?
The caucasity.
Yeah, my life is boring. I always want to kill myself.
Then go do.
Because there's
okay,
nothing.
I'm not asking you to trauma.
Oh wait! Oh, Mackenzie, you can't say that on a live stream. You cannot say that on a live stream.
Whoa!
Mackenzie, you can't say that on a live stream.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I just got a message. I think we should move on. And thank you, Mackenzie, for your time.
Yeah. I'll just. All right, Mackenzie, goodbye. I look like one of them hand rubbing together Jews, apparently, according to somebody on YouTube.
Is that a specific?
I don't know. It's an oddly.
Person?
I don't know. It's a very oddly specific thing to say. It's just weird there, Aaron. You're a weird individual.
That was
you guys are very weird.
Interesting.
All right, guys. Shadow, we're just speaking with you. What do you want to come up for?
Shadow disappeared. Remember? We thought they ran, but maybe their phone died or something. I don't know.
Oh, somebody's very upset that you called out white people. They said, "Can you mind your own business as well?" Because apparently you can't, because you're calling out lots of white men. Somebody is very upset.
And I will always call out white men. I want you to be.
They're probably a Klan member. They're almost certainly a Klan member. Hey, wheelchair guy, why did you threaten the unaliver caller? Who's wheelchair guy?
Oh, they're talking about me.
They're talking about you. But this is on YouTube. How would they even know that if they're on YouTube? Like, they don't.
Oh, I said wheelchair because I told the last caller I was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Listen, though, if you want your guts spilled, come talk to me about the bathroom. I'm happy. I can oblige.
Oh, guys, we're not doing transphobia, so the he said it thing, you're just immediately getting put in a 24-hour timeout, just immediately, no questions asked. So this explicit transphobia is just gonna, the deep voice lady, yep, gone, goodbye, go F off. All right, we'll see how many people we can get rid of here. Yeah,
Careful
pure
on
blood,
YouTube.
goodbye. Yeah, no, on
You'll
YouTube, I'm just getting rid of them. Oh, yeah, they're getting ousted. Who else do we got? Wheelchair guy, would you identify? James, goodbye. So long and farewell. Until tomorrow, James. Until tomorrow. See you, James. You lasted a while, but you just didn't last long enough. Unfortunately. Yeah, I do need mods in YouTube. You're correct there. I do have a couple in general, but only one of them I think is operating at the moment. So if people on TikTok who I've known for a bit, if you want to mod for me on the tube, I would appreciate that. People on YouTube, unfortunately, I don't know some of the friendlies enough to mod you up. Don't take it personally. I just don't know you guys enough to do that. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Again, if you watch me on TikTok and you want to mod for me on YouTube, I really do need it. So check in on us. All right. Well, don't take it personally. I don't want to mod somebody who's not an actual friendly and then have it be a whole thing, you know. But don't worry, I'll get to know some of the people on YouTube. The thing for people who are watching me on YouTube and you're just finding me, I've been streaming on TikTok for a couple, like 2 years, so like I kind of know the people who have been following me for a while, but I'll get to know the people on YouTube who want to continue to follow me. So just be patient, please. You're offended. Sorry. And for anybody that wants to be a mod, you don't have to, if you are a mod, you don't have to mod for me on every stream for the entirety of the stream. It's a come as you go type of thing. No pun intended.
Those were the jokes I was going to make earlier.
No, David. Do you have a lot of... Yeah, Ray, I do a little bit. It's always a little bit more so than TikTok, yeah.
Oh yeah, all the nut jobs hang out on the tube for the most part.
Thank you. Ooh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I neglect the YT side. I know. There's times where I don't look at the YT comments as much. I will try to be more fair and equal. Okay. So I had to go to the doctor today, the urgent care, because my ear was really clogged. And that's not a thing typically you go to the doctor for, but like for the past couple of weeks, I'd wake up randomly with this ear being clogged, and it would just kind of go away throughout the day, and so I didn't really do anything about it. But then yesterday, or I think it may have been the day before, I got one of those at-home like earwax remover things where you put the thing in your ear and you squirt the water in, and that just made it exponentially worse. Like it was clogged maxing. It was really fucking clogged though, to the point where it felt like somebody was just holding their hand over my ear. So I tried it a couple more times, and then I got like the drops that's supposed to soften the earwax, and that also clogged my ear a lot. So it was just clogged just all around. And so, anyways, I had to go to the urgent care because it was just hard to go about my day. Like it was, I didn't want to eat because it was starting to make me dizzy and nauseous. And so she also tried to clean it out with the whatever that they have. She tried like 4 or 5 times, and it was just starting to get very irritated. Anyways, though, she said it was She said she saw the earwax in there, but it was like really deep in there. So she said it did get loosened. It'll just take a few days to come out, I guess. So.
Damn.
Yeah. But no, like my ears are really irritated from constantly trying to do that the past couple of days. I probably did it too much. When it comes
Do
out,
you
though,
use Q-tips?
it's gonna feel so nice when it comes out, though. It's gonna be basically orgasmic. Yeah, no, I know the camera one, Elise, whatever your name is. Um, but my ear is so irritated right now. I can't do anything with it at the moment. I tried that one time, the camera one, but it felt really weird putting a thing that far in my ear to like get. It just felt weird to me. I don't know if I loved it. A water pick? That's what I have. Yeah, that's what I ordered from Amazon. So I'm gonna continue. She said just for next few days, just use the drops, and it should just either naturally come out, or I can go, and then I can go back to her if not. But I'm not gonna go back to her. I'm just gonna use the at home thing. No, it wasn't an ENT. I mean, I guess I could, but this was just like one of those minute clinic things because it was I just had to go to a doctor really quickly, so I didn't really have the luxury of trying to choose. All right. What's this? How do you want that? Okay. Oh, I see your comment, Esser. Esser Blossom. I see your comment on YouTube. Can you message me on TikTok, please? I just want to just verify, like that's you. You know what I mean? Nah. I mean, yeah. No, it's a really good feeling once the earwax comes out. It's like, it's so nice. Very nice. I got a little TikTok brain going on. I don't quite know what that means, Aaron. Do you mind rephrasing that so it makes sense? I would appreciate it. I ignored you on YouTube. Wait, which one are you, Paige? Where did I know you on YouTube? Where did I know him? Sorry. It means TikTok is not educational. It's not any less or any more than YouTube. It's weird that you guys are like complaining or making fun of people that are on TikTok, but I do the same thing on TikTok that as I do on here on YouTube. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's almost like you're making fun of yourself then. Cherry's profile picture. All right, I will try to find you. I don't
I
know,
shall
Paige.
go make myself
I
some
think
dinner
you're lying,
now.
Paige. All right, Snitch, great seeing you.
I'll
I'll
see you
talk to you tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good. All right, take care. Right?
Ciao.
Yeah, Paige, I think you're lying. Yeah, you're like 1000% lying to me, Paige. Well, I don't want to have to restart, but it's looking like I may have to. TikTok is more of an echo chamber than YouTube. Like, in what sense? Like, what do you mean by that? I have people coming on YouTube that are opposition all the time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a live stream. The live stream is based upon that. Dougie, it's me. I don't know who me is. Oh, you. Oh, God, Paige, those aren't cherries. Paige, do you realize how much I have to zoom in just to see those cherries? Like, that's crazy.
Ducky
There's
after dark.
no way anybody can notice that. Like, I need a magnifying glass to notice that those are cherries. But whatever. Hey, YouTubers, call on in. Call on in. The number has been posted a bunch of times. And here it is again. We are close to 50,000 likes. Although, I've been streaming for a while. We should be way above 50,000 likes. We should be at like 100 by now.
Truthfully, I think YouTubers are just cowards who won't talk to people.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, they hide in the comments constantly. They almost never want to come on up. Trans people,
Although I guess they all live with their parents, so they probably can't be too loud.
Yeah. Let me address this comment. It says, if trans people as a community came out and said to trans youth, we understand you and we are here for you, but let your mind and body mature and then think about transition when you are an adult, that would be a-okay. Yeah, for one, what would you constitute as them coming out as a community? How many of them need to come out? Because there's no LGBT plus organization. Do 5 trans people need to say it? 10? 100? Tell someone they need to say that for it to constitute as a community coming out and saying that. Yeah, doesn't make a lot of sense.
And also, the same way that lesbian or gay or bisexual children exist, trans adults existed as children. So, no. If what's best for that child is for them and their doctor and their parents to decide that they're going to start doing something more than just a social transition, then that's up to them and their care team. It's not up to a rando on YouTube. So
Yeah,
cope.
I don't know why like you people like constantly want to dictate what like people in the LGBT plus community do. Like it has like no bearing on you guys. Like you guys' obsession is just insane. And Esser Blossom, I am making you a mod right now. So use your powers wisely. Okay, cool, we're good there. Why are they making it illegal to apply gender affirming care? Why are they making it illegal to apply gender affirming care for children in Europe? It sounds like you're trying to suggest that because they in Europe do something, therefore it is the correct way. Do you apply that to, say, universal health care? Or any other social benefits that they provide to their citizens that we don't? Or is
Or
that
universal
different?
income. Not income,
Yeah, it's
education.
weird. It's weird that they constantly like to compare us to Europe when it just suits them, but never in any other scenario. Like they only want to do it when it comes to like things like trans people or silly stuff with ingredients in the food or pew pew
I feel
laws. Thank
like
you.
that's very common. Just kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Pick and choose. Paige told me to tell you to restart.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, I'll restart. I will leave the tube going though, because that's fine as is. People on TikTok, yeah, I'm gonna restart. Okay, so make sure you follow me if you don't already. Make sure you follow Rookai. It's gonna be a very quick restart. All right, I'm gonna end it and then restart. Okay, I will see you all in like 10 seconds. And the YouTubers, I'll address you while TikTok is going back up. Ugh. And I'm gonna have to restart the app because it's glitching out on me. No, I don't want YouTube. No.
This is very odd. That.
All right. Oh my God. It's not going to let me choose my background. Nope. Can't choose the background. Doesn't want to work. And I'm going to have to restart it again. No. Let's try it again.
Hi, my name is, and I.
All right. This is the last time I'm going to try this. If not, I'm just going to give up entirely. The Limsit, I'm going to make you a mod. Just give me 2 seconds. Okay, I'm going to just go live, but it's not going to... What is going on? Okay, it's not going to let me change my background, unfortunately. Guys, it's not letting me make a background, so I don't think I'm going to be able to go live. I've tried restarting the app 3 different times, and it doesn't want me to choose a background, so I think I'm not going to be able to go live. What about youth gender transition? Do you oppose? Do I oppose? Listen, I want to address YouTube, but this is not letting me make a background right now, and it's really fucking annoying. David, this has happened before, but I just swipe out of the app and go back in, and then it works again. But now it's not just working at all. So it just doesn't want to let me choose a background. Like I click it and it doesn't. All right, I'm gonna restart it again. It's not the phone.
Across streets are. All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council members.
All right, we're gonna try this one more time.
You know, clubbing every day, doing certain
Nobody cares. Club. There we go. Fucking finally. All right, sorry about that. All right, let me address some of the comments here. Yeah, Urban, I don't know if you're going to get a satisfactory answer, though, to be honest. You're probably not going to. It wasn't longer than 10 seconds. I restarted within 10 seconds, but it wasn't working. It was glitching out on me. It was. You can rewatch my YouTube because I was streaming throughout the whole thing on YouTube still. It's really fucking annoying because sometimes on TikTok when I try to choose a background before I go live, it doesn't work. Like I'll click it and it just won't work, and that's what was happening. No matter how many times I tried to like swipe out of the app and restart it. Mental and physical health consequences. Okay, well, I don't think you apply that to any other health decision that people make. I doubt you do, Daniel. It's weird that. So I'm just wondering as to why you won't apply that elsewhere. Oh, hey, C-Bar, thank you for the 3 on the green app that starts with a C. If you're in the comments, just let me know. If not, I'll read this out again in a few minutes. Well, Video, why don't we just talk about the topic? Why not? Let's not just refer to like a country to determine if something is correct or not. Why don't we just talk about the topic? So if you have a problem with it, just say why you have a problem with it, other than just saying, well, Europe does it, therefore it's right. So just make the argument. And again, Europe has much stricter pew-pew laws. They have much, much better safety social nets than we do. So if you are going to compare us to it, then maybe you should talk about those things also. Why do you care what people think about you? I don't know what this topic has to do with what you just said. LEMVP. Your comment had nothing to do with my background whatsoever. It's almost like you're reading some other background and you decided to comment that. But yeah, Video Watcher, you can come on up. The phone number gets posted in here, so you can call on in if you want. I agree, Elise. Literally everybody cares what some other people think about them. Anybody who says otherwise is absolutely lying. Anybody who says, I don't care what anybody thinks about me, you're lying. Everybody to some degree cares what a few people care about them. Did I mention Ozempic is a pupe? Did you mention you went on it, that you're going on it? Or you went on it, I think? I think you were the one that mentioned it. I am against gender-affirming care for minors because it doesn't make their lives better. If it makes it worse, you're going to have to provide data to back that up. And we don't determine, that's not how we determine anything anyways as it relates to healthcare anyhow. So, it's not the government's decision to make a Video Watcher. Surely you don't want to live in a society where the government is making healthcare decisions for people. That would be a shitty society to live in. But yeah, if you want to substantiate that it makes their lives worse, you're welcome to provide that data. I highly doubt you're going to be able to provide the data. You're probably going to pivot to something else. So if you want, provide your source in the comments. I'll pull it up and we'll talk about it as to how gender-affirming care makes their lives worse. The endocrine system is nothing to play with, except when men go on TRT, except when women get birth control, except when women post-menopause or in menopause go on estrogen, except then, apparently. Thank you, David. Hey, guys, on TikTok, make sure if you want to come on up, you hit the request button at the bottom of the screen, okay? Keep tapping and sharing. Make sure you guys send in a heart me too. Except when women are pregnant there. Yep, Video Watcher, remember when I called out that you weren't going to respond to what I said, you're just going to pivot to something else? Boom, there you go. You're not doing it. You're not providing the data. Provide the data, Daniel. You keep using the same regurgitated talking points. If your next comment, Daniel, is not providing the data that gender-affirming care makes their lives worse, you will get muted for 1 minute. If after that minute you come back and you don't provide in your next comment data for your statement, you'll get then muted for 5 minutes, so on and so forth. All right, David, or Daniel, whatever the fuck your name is. So remember, your next comment needs to be showing data that it makes their lives worse. Gender-affirming care does. All right, let's bring this person on up. Hey, John, what's up?
Yo, what's up, bro?
Not much, man. I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
Yeah, I hate gay people.
I just need to know your age, please. How old are you? I need to know your age, please. How old are you? I need to know your age, please. How old are you? All right. Well, there you go. Oh, no. A hateful Trump supporter? All right. You don't have data? Boom. There you go. Getting muted. Daniel, you're on a timeout for 1 minute. Do not make claims if you don't have data. Do not make absolute claims to say that it makes their lives worse. In fact, you said objectively it makes their lives worse. If you don't have the data, then don't say fucking stupid things like that. When this minute timeout is up, provide the data or apologize for making a statement that you didn't have evidence to back it up with. Those are your only options, Daniel. And Ruck, I'll bring you on out once we get an opposition. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I just need to know your age, please.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Yeah, I just need to know your age, please.
Oh, I'm 30 years old.
Cool, I appreciate it. What's up? What's on your mind?
Well, I'm full-fledged MAGA, and
Cool.
I don't hate anybody.
Okay. You voted for Trump?
I absolutely did. 3 times.
Okay. What are your views of the LGBT plus community?
I couldn't care less.
Okay. So you couldn't care less either way?
I want them to live their lives. If they want to do whatever they want, do whatever you want. Leave me alone to live my life.
Except going in the military? They're not allowed to do that anymore because of the guy that you voted for.
Wait, gay people are not allowed to be in the military anymore?
Transgender individuals. They are now not allowed in the military.
Different. That's not what you said. That's
there we
part
go.
of that thing.
I didn't say. Nope. I didn't say it was anything else. But why? How come they're not allowed to do that? And make sure you please don't. If you're gonna eat, just save it for after the live stream. Okay.
Me? I'm not eating.
Yeah. Well, you're doing something with your mouth, but what's your justification for trans people being kicked out of the military if you think they should be able to do what they want?
Well, I believe at one point under Joe Biden, you were allowed to have, if you were in the military, you were allowed to have a transformation surgery, and the government was going to pay for it.
I don't know what transformation surgery is.
You could have your thingy changed.
That's gender affirming care. It's not transgender. It's not gender affirming surgery, or not transformation surgery. And secondly,
and because you were in the military, the government had to pay for it.
Secondly, you
don't need to scream.
But secondly, the military already pays for things like that. Outside of that, anyways.
Do you think that's okay?
They have been doing that. If you want a nose job in the military, they will pay for it.
I don't think they should. I don't care if it's a nose job.
Okay, great. Then your problem isn't with transgender people; it's with them paying for a surgery.
I agree.
Okay, so then what's another justification as to why they are kicked out?
I don't think they're being excluded. I just think that's the thing that you cannot do anymore, and I'm for that.
But again, they already do this with other things, so clearly that's not the reason as to why they were kicked out. Secondly, you don't have to have surgery to be transgender.
I mean, you could be straight and say I'm transgender, but you're really straight. So what does it matter?
Well, straight has nothing to do with your gender.
Those are not the same things.
Right, those are different things. But again, you're not justifying why it was okay to kick them out of the military.
Again, I don't think if they want to be in the military, I'm okay with it. I don't think we should have to pay for any surgeries.
Okay, but that's a separate topic. We can talk about that. That's fine.
But it was happening under Joe Biden.
Well, Waltz, did you not listen to the words that I said? The military pays for any surgery, one elective surgery that you want to get. It has nothing to do with Joe Biden. This has been forever.
I don't believe in that.
I don't care if you don't believe in that. It has been forever. It's not a Joe Biden thing. Stop getting your news from Fox News or Facebook posts. Okay, it's not a Joe Biden thing. So it's weird that you're saying that. Again, why is it okay that they've been kicked out of the military? You said you don't care what they do with their lives.
I don't care what they do with their lives.
But it sounds like you don't care if, on the other end of things, it sounds like you don't care if they can't do certain things either.
Let's just say you're a born male, and you want to consider yourself a trans. If the military doesn't have to pay for you to do whatever, then go in the military. What makes you a trans? If you're not
a trans individual, a trans person, but that's not what it was. All of them were kicked out of the military, surgery or not. It wasn't just surgery.
What makes you a trans person if you haven't transformed?
It's not, oh my God. Well, trans does not stand for transform. That's not what it stands for.
Transition.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not trans. Trans is not for transition. Trans is. It's just a prefix. Waltz.
Okay, so if you can see, the thing is, I feel like in life and the military, it doesn't matter what you think you are, as long as you do your job. I don't care.
Then why were they kicked out? Why were they kicked out?
Because I think when you say, "Hey, I want you to pay $30,000
Walt,
to have,"
we've already discussed this.
Well, I don't think that should have been the case.
Then that's not the reason why they were kicked out. Oh my God! If you mention that one more time, I'm just going to go to the next guest. That's not why they were kicked out. Why do you keep mentioning surgeries when we've already gone over that 3 different times?
Well, I'm just telling you my opinion.
But I don't care about your opinion. Why is it justified that they were kicked out?
That's how I'm justifying it.
But oh my God, dude. Then why weren't other people why weren't women kicked out who get breast enhancement surgery? Why weren't some other people kicked out who got nose surgery? Why weren't other people got kicked out for other elective surgeries? Why not?
The way I see it, that they should not offer that.
Oh, okay. Well, again, that's not the point of what we're talking about, though. That has nothing to do with being trans. So why is it okay that they were kicked out? My whole point is you voted for this, yet you claim to say that you are for whatever they want to do, except when it comes to the military. It's just one example, by the way. There's many more.
Well, tell me what makes a trans person. If I was born a male,
the identification is such. The identification is such. You don't identify as female. You can't identify as another sex. That's not how it works.
Hold on. Can I just finish my question? Because I want you to explain it to me.
But you're not. No, but you're trying to get away from the point as to why they were kicked out of the military.
You to define it, and then I can explain to you what part of your definition I have a problem with.
It's just identification as such. Just as in order to be gay, you don't have to do things with another man. You're gay regardless.
You mean you're happy?
Waltz, can we have a serious conversation?
Well, that's what gay means, being happy,
Waltz,
right?
Can we have a serious conversation?
So what you're saying, you could be gay and not want to have a sex with somebody of the same
That's not what
gender.
I said. That's not what I said. I said
what?
You can be gay. Yes, you can be gay and not have done anything with another man before. That's not the prerequisite to being gay.
Then what is?
To have attraction towards the same sex.
Well, that's the same thing. You just haven't.
No, it's not. Right. Thank you. So you don't need to do stuff with another man to be gay, just as you don't need to get surgery to be transgender. You don't need to get hormones to be transgender. That's not the prerequisite of such. And guys, we can get to new guests at 15,000 likes, all right? Are you there? Waltz, are you there?
No.
Yeah, so what does this have to do as to why what's your justification as to why they were kicked out of the military?
He's having an argument.
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what this has to do with your justification as to why they were kicked out of the military.
I'm not justifying it. I feel like that we should not pay for that surgery. If they want,
Waltz, goodbye. Bye. I said if you mention that again, we're going to the next guest. Keep tapping and sharing, guys. We're looking for opposition. Just hit the request button at the bottom of the screen. That was like his 5th fucking time mentioning that. He was fixated on that.
His girlfriend wanted him to leave.
Joe, are you opposition? Okay, direct, you're not loading for whatever reason. Joe, I don't know what's up with you. What's up? What's up, Joe? Joe going
Hello?
once. Hey, how you
Hello?
doing? Yep, how you doing, Joe?
What's up?
Hey,
I'm
man,
doing
I just
good.
need to know. Yeah, I just need to know your age, please.
My age?
Yeah, it's for TikTok terms of service.
Alright. Fuck niggers. That's my age, retard.
Well, that's not an age, now is it, Joe?
Jesus.
What a funny guy. Imagine your life revolving around doing those things. Must have a pretty
Want to
shitty
hear a
life
funny
there, Joe.
joke real quick? White birth rates continue to decline. That's what's funny.
That is funny. Oh, speaking of,
Hey,
sorry.
Curb in YouTube, your sarcastic comment about the military paying for elective surgeries is great use of money. Um, I, that's a small fraction of the it's not Department of War budget, I guess we'll say now. That's a very small portion of it. But if you have a problem with that, the budget has been called to raise like another 50%, like 500 billion, right? Up to 1.5 trillion dollars by your boy
Yeah, he wants.
Donald J. Trump. So talk about wasting money there, buddy. But somehow that's
Yeah,
going to be okay because you're going to justify that.
sorry. He wants to raise it to 1.5 trillion.
Yeah, which is wildly insane.
Michio, did you see I think it was Fox News that was talking about how the birth rate for 15 to 19-year-olds had dropped by like
Yes,
70%, and they were all upset about it.
they were very upset.
What's up, Bernie? How you doing?
What's up?
Hey, not much. I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
I can't hear you, brother.
I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
35.
All right. What's going on, man?
Not much. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. What do you want to speak to towards the background?
Well, why do you think everybody hates you?
Me? I'm not talking about me.
No, I'm not talking. You asked me to respond to the prompt,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah. I'm not talking about me. I don't think everybody hates me.
why do you think everybody hates the community then?
Well, because of the Trump supporters that I speak to every time I do this live who tell me that they hate them.
Was it Trump supporters in the 90s?
TikTok wasn't around in the 90s for me to have these types of conversations.
That's not what I'm asking you. What did people like have a problem with gay rights in the 90s? I mean, that's when all that shit was passed, right? Gay marriage and all that.
Yes.
Gay marriage was 10 years ago.
Okay.
So
when did it start?
A little further away from the 90s.
It was legalized with Obergefell v. Hodges in 2015. Prior to that, it was not federally legal for gay couples to marry.
Right.
So prior to that, there was anti-LGBTQ legislation that was in place.
There was nothing to that. No. There was
No?
no such thing as LGBTQ.
Yes, there
How about
was.
What do you
Lawrence v.
mean?
Texas?
What do you mean,
Sorry?
Ernie? There wasn't.
There was no such thing as anti-LGBTQ prior to 2008. Nothing.
Prior to 2008?
Well, I don't know.
Why
Can you
2008?
point me to something? That's the first time I heard about it.
Wait, what do you mean there was no anti-LGBTQ? What can you?
Well, because
elaborate on that.
I think a lot of people, like prior to that time, were like, gay marriage is going to happen, and it was going to happen, and it happened, right? Okay. The other problem was the LGBT part of it.
Okay, what about it?
Not the the lesbian, gay, but the other parts of it, which has expanded to a ridiculous amount, which I think everybody can see how it's so ridiculous. What they've been doing in Canada, right? Even in your own prompt, LGBTQIA plus, but that is just a fraction of what that synonym means, isn't it?
So it sounds like you're offended by letters, huh?
It's not a synonym, it's an acronym. English matters.
You're right. It's an acronym. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
I don't understand why letters are so triggering to you.
It's what it represents.
Okay, so what letter what letter represents something that you find to be problematic?
Well, like I was telling you, I don't think anyone had any problem with the L and the G.
But they did prior to 2015, even now.
And many still do now.
I'm talking about like 2008 and prior.
You want to bet?
What's up, Nicholas?
No, I don't want to bet because if you left to me,
because you know you're wrong.
No,
I would
because
like to
I
start.
believe differently.
Hold on, hey buddy. I'd
Hey,
like to
buddy,
start.
because I believe differently.
I'd like to
And I
start
would
by
like, I
saying,
would like
can you
you to
stop?
have your rights,
Can you
and I
stop?
don't want
Can you
you.
stop?
I don't
Hey,
want you.
hey,
We got
buddy.
it. We got it, Ernie.
Buddy.
We got it.
You got to chill for a second. Can you relax for a second?
Why don't you stop
Can you do
muting
that?
me?
I'm not muting you. I don't have mod powers here.
No, you did it.
I literally don't have mod powers here, buddy.
He doesn't have mod powers here. He doesn't.
My God, I'd like to start by saying that LGBTQ plus is not an acronym; it's an initialism. There is a difference. An acronym would be
Again.
NASA.
Why?
I'm not muting you.
Go ahead.
I don't know why you're gaslighting here. LGBTQ is not an acronym; it's an initialism. NASA is an acronym. FBI is an initialism. It's kind of apparent there. But no, I mean in recorded U.S. history, are you saying that like we didn't have anything prior to 1998? Or are you saying like worldwide there was nothing prior to 1998? Is that what you're saying? Because that's not true.
Yeah. Hey guys, let Ernie speak. Let him speak. All right. All right. Never mind.
He gone.
All right. Let's get to the next one.
Nicholas, I feel like I'm dumb. What is an initialism? What is the difference between?
This is a super pedantic thing. It's also just one of those like seared into my brain. An initialism is where you say the letters of like that you're shortening. So FBI is an initialism, whereas an acronym you say the word that they make up. So NASA.
That makes sense. Oh,
Or
today I
laser.
learned. Look at that, guys. I'm sure a lot of people here learned something today. What's up, Durf? Durf Jr.?
Hey there, man.
Thank you for teaching me something.
Hey, I just need to know your age before we move forward, please.
18.
Thank you. And do you disagree with the context of the prompt?
So like, can I get an understanding of what the QIA plus and what are the others?
The others what? Like the QIA?
Like the other things. I don't know what to call them. I'm not trying to be offensive, but
No. Which ones are you talking about? QIA?
yeah, QIA and then like whatever else there is.
Well, I would be intersex.
He's a clan member. I would just kick him.
What do you mean?
Look at his
Well,
videos.
I'm being respectful though. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to go after you guys. I'm being respectful. I want to have a genuine conversation.
Guys, we have a respectful clan member up here. Why didn't you say so? All right, now you're okay. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Guys, we have a respectful one. but I'm being respectful.
But an
Guys-
A for effort in pleading his case, okay?
Guys, I'm not burning the cross in your yard.
Jesus.
Oh Lord.
He really thought that was gonna work too.
He tried.
I know.
And thank you for teaching me something, Nicholas.
I have approximate knowledge of many things.
I feel like is that a quote? I feel like I've read a book with that as a quote.
It's from a cartoon.
All right.
It's not Zim.
No, it's I'm pretty sure it's Adventure Time.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, I do need to clip that actually. Fuck, how do you screenshot again on an iPad? Fuck, I always forget. I think it's this maybe. I'm gonna fuck this up here. Oh, I got it. I had like a 33% chance of getting that correct. All right, cool. Thank you, David. But yeah, that'll be a good clip. Very good clip. What's been new with you, Thick?
Well, currently I'm being accosted by my dog, who doesn't understand personal space. Not a whole lot. Bought a new motorcycle recently. Going on vacation next week.
Oh, nice. Where you
going? These are two separate questions. The second bike that I bought was a Hornet 750. And then I'm going to Paris for vacation.
Oh, shit. That sounds like a nice time.
Yeah, I've never been. I'm very excited.
That bike looks sick.
The one I have is white and like red and black.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, so while I'm on vacation, I will not be on this fucking application. I'm going to be fucking unplugged.
But you said you're going to Paris?
Yeah.
Do you speak at all, or are you just...
Nope, never been. Don't speak a word. I know cheese omelet. That's about the extent of my French. And I know how to say I am a pineapple. That is about it. So... I'm gonna go over there and ask for forgiveness for everything that we've done recently. So.
All right. Hey guys, we are looking for opposition.
Say goodbye to Thickles because he's not coming back home, is what it sounds like to me.
The hotel I'm in is going to be like, yeah, no, I saw that, Andy. I messaged her about like if she had any recommendations. The hotel I'm staying in is like 5 minutes away from the Louvre, and I guess I'm going to be there during the time that the Paris fair is going to be in the area. So, Paige, I mean, human trafficking is in vogue right now, so you know, if you want to hop in my luggage.
I am legitimately so jealous that you'll be so close to the Louvre. I want to go there so
It's cool.
badly. Make sure you don't...
I went there a long time ago. It's very cool. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I've been trying to make it a goal. So I mean, you know, but like when you're in the military, it's very difficult to like travel because one, you have to ask for fucking permission, and two, like if you want to leave the country, there are like so many just hoops you have to jump through. If you want to like internationally travel. So while I was in the service, all of the international travel I did was at the behest of the government. So since I've been out, I've tried to make it a point like to at least make 1 or 2 trips every year. So like last year was Colombia, this year so far it was Canada, now I'm going to Paris. I'm trying to take like at least a trip a year to make up for some
for all that
the lack of previously.
No, that's a good idea.
What was I gonna say? Oh, don't steal the crown jewels.
Just don't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad. I mean, I'm trying to travel until the rest of the world decides that they no longer want to accept American passports. So,
yeah, get it out of your system, I guess. Right, do it as much as you can.
I feel like that's probably not all that super far away at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happens soon. Hey, Patrick on YouTube, you can call on in. He says, this is why the Democratic Party is done. Hello, listening to morons like this? Yeah, the Democrats almost never talk about trans people. So you're confusing what leftists online typically talk about, or I guess in person too, versus what Democrats do. Big difference. Democrats almost never talk about trans people, unless they are asked questions about it or prompted such. And that's one of the biggest criticisms. One of the biggest criticisms of the Democrat Party by people is that they don't do enough for marginalized communities. So I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Honestly valid. I was just gonna pop up because I had a whole thing of laws popped up, but I'll drop back down to your comments to lighten up the panel a bit.
Cool. All right, Thick. Good seeing you. Take care. Okay.
Later.
All right. See you. Yeah, remember, guys, if you're opposition, hit the request button. If you think the left is anti-science, just hit the request button, come on up, or you can call on up, okay? I appreciate you praying for me, Patrick, but that's going to do all of jack shit.
Did you say you had not been to the gym in a while, Doug, earlier?
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't. Kind of fell off a little bit. That's actually why I am getting an online coach for that very reason. Because I have just been struggling to get to the gym really for the last year, essentially, at least consistently, and I just need the accountability. I need accountability of having a coach. What's up, Trekker?
That's good.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
how you
I
doing?
mean, good man. How old are you? I just need to know before we move forward, please.
50.
All right. What's up?
Well, no, I just scrolling through. I read your prompt, and well, I mean that's kind of me, but I don't hate anybody.
Yeah. You said you voted for Trump, though?
Yes.
Do you support some of the executive orders that he has written that has targeted transgender individuals?
Well, what targeted the transgender individuals? I mean, seriously.
Banning gender affirming care for anyone under the age of 19, which is weird that he made it that.
Sure.
So
I think it was under 18.
No, it's 19, yeah, which is weird.
Well, it still don't matter.
But you're for that?
Yeah.
So you think the president should make medical decisions for people? So you're telling me in 2028, if a Democrat wins, hold on, you're telling me if a Democrat wins, they can make an executive order that says any Christian is not allowed to get any medical care until they're 18. You're telling me that's okay?
Hold on. I believe it's under like government assistance. The government is not going to pay for it under 19.
When were they paying for it?
Well, under Medicaid or Medicare.
Well, first of all, that's not what the executive order was. It just banned it altogether. It just banned it altogether. Not even not paying for it. It just banned it altogether.
If you have your private health care, you could do whatever you want, correct?
No. It banned it for all 19-year-olds and below.
So I honestly believe it was under the age of 18.
It said 19.
Okay, well, you might be right.
I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. Give me a moment. All right. So
what 1 year is a big deal for you, right?
Well, I disagree with it. I disagree with it altogether. But it in and of itself, like if you're gonna do it, why are you still making it illegal for someone who's an adult? But yes, it is. Which one is it? Here, it's Executive Order 14187, protecting children from chemical and surgical mutilation. Yep, it aims to prevent gender-affirming care for Americans under 19.
Okay, well, all right. Well, yes, I'm fine with that.
You're fine with the government making medical decisions for people?
To have sex change operations, yes.
So the government should make medical decisions for people?
Under the age of 19, yes.
So that's not what I'm asking. Are you okay with the government making medical decisions in general?
No.
Except when it comes to the things that you agree with, right?
Well, this is something
Trucker, again, what if it doesn't? But we can talk about that. What if a Democrat in 2028 makes an executive order saying, guys, I don't know what to tell me if you can't hear me. I don't know what to tell you guys. There's nothing I can do about it. Can you all guys not hear me or what? Because there's nothing I can do
I
about
can
it.
hear you.
I hear you.
All right. Literally nothing changed, guys. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Would you be okay with the Democrats saying that Christians under the age of 18 can't get any medical care?
That's not what they're saying, though.
Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with that?
There's life-threatening things that need to be taken care of.
So trucker, you're not answering the question. Would you be okay with that?
No.
Okay, so you're not okay with the government or a president making unilateral medical decisions.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so then why are you okay with this? Listen, I'm not saying that you have to be for surgeries when it comes to this. Clearly, I'm not going to change your mind on that.
No,
but
government should not be involved in our medical decisions.
Okay. So even if you disagree with gender affirming care when it comes to comes to the youth, shouldn't that be a decision that the medical community decides as a whole if it's something that's not appropriate? Or rather,
100% correct.
That's my whole thing.
Yeah. I was kind of messed up in the beginning. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. All right. Mitra, you want to say something to him? Or okay?
No, I was just. I mean, I don't understand why anybody again thinks that it's any of their business if it's not them. Like, what does it matter who it's happening to? What age it's happening? If that's the medical decision that's made, why is that a problem?
It really isn't. But if the government is paying for them surgeries, I should not have to be paying for that type of surgery.
How do you know that your tax money hasn't already paid for something like that?
I don't.
How do you know where your tax money goes in general?
Oh, I really don't, and either do you.
Right. So, honestly, you can sit around being mad about something.
No, I'm not mad.
You can never confirm, or you can just let people going through their medical issue at the time they're going through it, let them handle it.
I agree. But my tax dollars should not be paying for this.
But you don't know where your tax dollars go now.
No, I don't.
So you're making a stink for with no verifiable proof.
Okay, so if somebody is indigent where they're on government assistance, should I be paying for their sex change operations?
Who says you are?
Well, listen, I don't know where my tax dollars go. They go for
that.
But trucker,
what?
When you're on private insurance, you do that anyways. That's how that works. Your money.
When I'm private insurance, I pay a lot of money for everything that is done.
Right, but you still pay for other people's healthcare. Yeah, but on private insurance, you still pay for other people's healthcare
through my tax
dollars.
How
that works?
Through my tax dollars, yes.
Through private insurance too. That is how that works.
So, my tax when I have employer covered insurance.
Yeah, you pay for others' healthcare that are on that healthcare.
Well,
that is how that works. Yes.
Well, explain this to me. How does that work?
So the amount that you pay every month, even if you don't use any insurance coverage for, medication or surgeries or doctor, whatever the insurance is for, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still pay every month. And so does everyone else that is part of that plan.
Right.
The insurance company makes money and pays for the people who do use their services within any given month by pulling from the pool of money that everyone pays into.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It is the exact same for Medicare and Medicaid.
Okay. Well, I'm asking. I'm not saying I know all this stuff.
No, that's fine. You asked. That's fine. But yeah, so the whole point is you're kind of doing the same thing regardless.
The reason I jumped on here is it says MAGA. Why do you hate LGBTQ community? I don't at all. and then we got on healthcare for some reason.
Well, it's intimately tied together, but
Well,
Right,
yeah,
but
I mean, it was relevant.
there's nothing I hate about it. You be who you want to be.
But again, the issue is when I'm talking about this, it's not on a personal level. It's where your vote goes towards that is harming the LGBT plus community. So you may or may not hate them on a personal level. I don't know you, but your actions, your vote, does say otherwise, and it does do
But I
otherwise.
voted for Trump for a different reason. It had
I
nothing
understand,
to do with.
but that doesn't mean your vote didn't go towards that, though.
You're right, but if I would have voted for the other party, my vote would have went for something else that I didn't like.
I understand, but however, though, all I'm saying is that your vote did go towards these things, and I personally would draw the line at like something affecting like human rights or humans just day-to-day life and things like that. That's where I would draw the line, and if anything that I voted for harmed those things, I wouldn't vote for said person.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Are you gay?
Me? No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well, is there any who else is gay on this panel?
I don't.
I'm cishet white.
Yeah.
I'm a trans woman who's straight.
Have you lost any rights?
Who, me?
Yes, under Donald Trump.
Are you familiar with what's going on with passports?
No, tell me.
There's a slew of trans people applying for passports, and they're putting the incorrect gender marker on them because they think that they know best. And what that's doing is it's sending people like me who are femme presenting to other countries with a passport that says I'm a male. And then other countries are treating us in different ways, and it's not good. In fact, in some cases, it can be very dangerous.
Well, could I suggest something?
What's that?
Don't go to another country where you might be endangered.
Can I suggest something to you?
Go ahead.
Mind your own fucking business.
Well, I simple solution. If I was endangered somewhere, do you know where I would not go?
Why am I not allowed? Why am I not allowed to go to another country with a passport that says I'm a female when all my other documents say I'm female?
And not for nothing, she's in danger here.
Correct.
No, she's not.
No.
How do you figure she's endangered here? How?
Okay, so you want to talk about rights, right? Well,
yes.
Do you consider the right to drive a car to be a right?
It is
like
a right.
interstate travel.
Yes, it is.
In
a right.
Kansas, they revoked every single trans person's driver's licenses.
Oh, I highly doubt this.
Go look it up.
Go
What
ahead.
do you mean you doubt it?
We wouldn't just make something up like that.
Hold on. Do you live in Kansas?
No,
I
live
do
in
not
Michigan.
live in Kansas.
All right. So, okay, I live in a bordering state from where you live, so I know a lot about Michigan. Your rights are the same as mine.
That's because my governor fought for us to have those rights.
Well, I have a Republican governor. And
my condolences.
No, but you still have the same rights as I have. You have nothing different in Michigan than you have in Ohio.
That's not true.
Well, I wouldn't go to Ohio anyway.
See, but am I right?
I don't know. I don't go to Ohio.
Well, no.
Listen,
I don't know. But no, that's entirely incorrect. Like I don't want to go into an abortion topic, but like clearly that changes state to state, right? So like women's right to choose changes drastically depending on where she is.
We can look it up. I'm pretty sure I saw Ohio in my news recently about something they're trying to do to trans people. Let's take a look.
Hey, Pitch.
I know one thing that there's different between like the states when it comes to trans men, right? Trans men are female, typically, and their bodily autonomy, whether they're pregnant or not, and if they want to stay pregnant, Yeah, that's a problem. It changes state to state. So yeah, trans men are faced with a lack of rights. They can no longer serve in the military.
Hold on. If they're pregnant, they're a woman.
No shit. What do you think female means? Like, female and women is not synonymous. Excuse me. I back that up. A trans man, I said, is female. Their sex is female. Their gender is a man. A trans man is biologically typically a female. And if their reproductive organs are still working, and because there are trans men, they're called seahorses, like daddy seahorses, seahorse daddies, they can get pregnant. And if they don't want to be pregnant, for whatever reason, we're not going into an abortion debate at all, but they don't have, their rights have been changed state to state. So that's something that trans men face.
Hold on.
Cis men don't.
If they are pregnant, they are a female.
Right. But female is their sex. That's not their gender. Their gender is man.
There's no man on this planet that could get pregnant.
Sir, do you only know of trans women? Is that all that's in your corn browser?
No, but you're saying a man.
Do you know what a trans man is?
A female.
Right.
Right, but there's a difference between sex and gender. They're not the same. They're not even synonyms in the dictionary. Female is your sex.
Listen, Trucker, you're not going to agree that trans men are men and trans women are women. So let's just speed up this part. I know. So let's just speed up that part of the conversation, because otherwise we're going to go back and forth.
I agree.
For no reason. So we understand that trans men are females. If you don't agree that they're men, all right, whatever. We'll get to a different part of the conversation. But I just wanted to clear up that confusion there. Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. So, anyways, I forget how we got to that point.
You asked me, Tria, another thing that she can't do, she can't serve in the military. She can't serve her country if she wanted to. In Florida, trans kids, I think it's 18 and under, no longer can have like HRT, puberty blockers.
I agree.
Why? Are you a doctor?
Because they're minors.
Right, but it's healthcare.
No.
Oh, okay. So do
minors.
you have a problem? Do you have a problem? Trucker, hold on. You don't even know what I'm talking about. What are puberty blockers?
Do you know who made my medical decisions when I was a minor? My parents.
The government?
My parents.
Yes. Here's the thing.
Oh, it wasn't the government?
You don't know.
No, it was my parents.
Trucker, you don't know how this works, right? So like, parents are involved. Children can't consent, they can assent.
Mm-hmm.
So when they go to a doctor, right, first they go and they see a child psychologist, right? That's the first part of the process. It's a W path is what it's called. Through that, they might be suggested to go on to an endocrinologist, who then can supply them with like puberty blockers if they have gender dysphoria, correct? However, do you know that it's cisgender girls that actually take puberty blockers way more than trans kids? Do you have a problem with cisgender girls taking puberty blockers?
Under the age of 18?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Why would a cisgender girl take?
Because they cannot make their own medical decisions without.
Why? No. Hold on. Why would a cisgender girl take puberty blockers?
Well, I honestly, I don't know.
Cis, hold on.
You're against
he doesn't know what cis
something.
means. He doesn't know what cis means.
Cis means is a little girl who was born female and recognizes her gender identity as girl. Like me, I'm a cisgender woman. I was born female. When I was a girl, underage, I recognized my identity as a girl. As I recognize now at 36, I am a woman.
Okay.
So
You sound like a woman.
That great, I guess, whatever. But why, if you don't even know why cisgender girls take puberty blockers, how can you be against it?
Why would they?
That's a great question. They do it for things like precocious puberty. Do you want a 5, 6-year-old girl to start her period and start growing breast? 5, 6, 7-year-old girl?
Honestly, I have no idea. Never thought about it. It has never entered my mind.
Good. And you know what? I'm glad you pointed out,
That is a
Tucker.
reality.
It doesn't affect you.
No, it doesn't at all.
Exactly. But you have such an opinion of like, no, it shouldn't be happening, although it never affects you. So I don't understand why you would have a problem with it.
No, I have zero opinion on this. Nothing.
No,
because
you do.
I know
You
nothing
say-
about it.
Sir, you are just telling us our opinion that if they're under 18, they shouldn't be taking it. I'm telling you, there are little girls, cisgender, meaning non-trans girls, they take the most when it comes to puberty blockers. They take them the most. It's for precocious puberty. So you don't have 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old little girls starting their period and growing breasts. It's an actual condition.
Do you really think a lot of people know about this?
People who read books do. People who just stare into the space don't.
Well,
that's
I
sort of
don't
besides
stare
the
into
point, though,
space.
Trucker.
I work.
I know, but Trucker, that's sort of besides the point. I guess the real question is, why do you have a strong opinion on transgender kids using these same exact medications, but you have no opinion on cisgender kids or cisgender girls using these exact medications?
Like I said before, I came up here because I thought you guys were talking about gay people. Why MAGA hates, and then all of a sudden it was nothing. It was all about transgender.
Trucker, no, you started talking about transgender people.
I did not. I didn't bring it up.
Yes, you did. You started talking about surgeries, and here's the thing: it has all the letters up there plus the plus sign.
Well, okay, I don't know what all the letters mean.
But they're part of the community. You know,
I don't know what they mean.
You didn't come up here. Well, maybe you should look it up, Trucker. You've got a supercomputer here, but you did not come up here and say I take issue with gay men or lesbian women or bi people or queer people or intersex people or asexual people. You started talking about trans people. Don't fucking gaslight, bro.
Tell me what every letter means in that.
I just did. I literally just did.
Google is free.
Lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, queer, intersex. A can be asexual or agender. It's just a little strange that you hold such a negative opinion on something that you're not very informed about.
It's not really a negative opinion.
It is when it takes the rights away from people in this community. You vote for people that take our rights away. That's negative. That's a negative impact that you have on my life, on Mitria's life.
Oh, so you're transgender, but you said you weren't.
No, I'm not transgender. Do you see more fucking letters up there, my guy, or do you only see the letter T?
What right have you lost?
Great, I'm glad you asked. So we have in Florida Senate Bill of 1580 that passed in 2023, where medical insurance, a medical provider, meaning a doctor, nurse, anybody like that, can refuse medical care to somebody in the LGBTQI plus community based on their principles or morals, aka most of the times it's the religious beliefs. And yes, this has happened in Florida already. We had a case in February. A lesbian woman was turned down at a doctor's office.
For what reason?
Because she's lesbian. They were very yes, I'm sorry, that does not fit with our morals here. We don't support your lifestyle. Welcome to fucking Florida.
I think you're lying on that one.
Oh, okay. I'll get it for you.
Did you ever look up the Kansas thing, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
Who?
You.
No. I don't live
So you
in
just
Kansas,
don't.
so I could care less.
But
Kind of the point, yeah.
Well, I don't live in Kansas, so why would I care?
Do you not? So, go ahead, Doug. Sorry.
no, it's fine. You can go.
Do you not understand the concept that whenever a group has their rights taken away for whatever reason, that same thing can happen to the rest of us? Like that is why people were so up in arms, and we're not going to get into an immigration discussion, but this is why people were so up in arms about the due process violations regarding ICE and deportations and all of that stuff. Like the whole point of people in these communities fighting for their rights and people who are not in their communities like me and Doug fighting for the rights of these communities is because we don't want our rights taken away down the line.
No, move into a state where your rights won't be taken away.
Well, that's a little
Fuck
difficult.
off.
But you know what, Trucker? Why don't you fucking move? Move to a bigot island. Bigot, uninformed island. You hold these.
Nothing
you
I'm
hold
saying
these,
is a
you
bigot.
hold these.
Nothing.
Be quiet, piggy. You hold these bigoted opinions that negatively impact other people's lives, good people, and you vote for rapists, felons, to take our rights away. You probably don't give a shit about women and having their rights taken away as well. So
What
why
rights
don't
have you
you
lost?
fucking move? Because I'm going nowhere. I'm going to change things. If I have to burn this shit down, so fucking be it. You
What
fucking
rights
move.
have you lost?
Bodily
He
autonomy.
just told you a bill.
I've told you. Senate Bill 1580 in Florida. Bodily autonomy. I've got 6 weeks. If I am raped on my way home tonight and I become pregnant and I don't know, I've got 6 fucking weeks. 6 weeks to figure out first off that I'm fucking pregnant. 6 weeks to go to court and try to prove that it was grape. And then 6 weeks to make it a fucking appointment to get an abortion. Oh, wait a minute. Not all of that is going to happen in fucking 6 weeks.
Well, hopefully that never
Oh,
happens.
I know. What?
Hopefully it never happens. And
Sir, do you know that
wouldn't you go to the
it
hospital?
happens? Yeah, be quiet. Learn something. Be quiet. Do you know there are lesbians who are on birth control after the overturning of Roe v. Wade and all of these like trigger laws started kicking into place. Lesbians started taking birth control.
Why?
Because grape is that fucking common, weirdo.
Why you call me a weirdo? I would
How
never
do you not know
rape
this at
somebody.
your big boy? How do you not know that at your big boy age? That women are graped. 1 in 3 will experience at the hands of men will experience grape, SA, or sexual harassment.
A lesbian would? I highly doubt it.
All women.
Women.
1 in 3. I think them numbers are a little skewed.
It's from CDC, but we know you're not going to look it up. We know you don't give a shit about women and little girls. We get that. You probably also don't know that over 64,000 women and little girls in Texas have been forced to have their rapist baby after the overturning in mid-2022 of Roe v. Wade. 64,000 have been forced because of their fucking laws. We know you don't give a shit, Trucker.
Shouldn't you go to bed? Don't you have like a protest to go to tomorrow?
Don't be fucking condescending, dude. Come on.
I'm serious. She's just out of hand. She's just.
I'm out of hand. No, it's called an education, Bocephus. Here's the funny thing. I wouldn't have to go to a protest if people like you didn't exist in this shit-ass country. I wouldn't have any protest to go to. Cletus.
Why don't you move? Go to a different country. What's a better country that
Because I'm taking care of my mother right now. And once she passes, which will be soon, it'll probably be by the end of this year, I'm moving back to Belgium. Fuck
and
all
that
of y'all.
and that's better.
Then here, Belgium, absolutely. I have bodily autonomy there.
Well, don't let the door hit you in the ass.
Yeah, well, old man,
Hey,
don't let the fucking
Trucker,
modern day hit you in the ass.
Trucker,
But
somebody disliked you so much they paid to kick you. Goodbye. Tammy, thank you so much for the 20 on the blue at with a V. It just said, I was just scrolling by and I don't appreciate the way he was talking about Paige. Well, thank you, Tammy. I really
Damn
appreciate
straight.
that.
Love you, Tammy.
Love you, Tammy, in the
I'm sorry to hear
comments.
that, Paige.
All right,
Oh,
guys,
it's
I'm gonna
alright.
take one more guest, but
I'm
it
gonna
is
make
getting a
room. Thanks
little
for
late
having me up.
here. All right, Paige, take care.
Thank
Okay,
you.
great having you.
Yeah.
All right, one more guest. We'll give it a few. All right.
I also have never understood the whole if you don't like it here, then move thing. It strikes me as deeply unpatriotic, right? Like we want our country to be better, so we stay and fight to make it better. Why would you ever leave the country that you say you love if it like isn't perfect for you personally? Like whatever. It's
The people that say get up and move out are the ones that sit in their own filth most of the day. So
valid.
they don't
Oh, we're
matter.
getting a call on YouTube here. Give me 1 second. Hello.
Hey.
Hi. I just need to know your age, please.
42.
All right. What's up?
So I've been speaking with your lovely chat, and I just have to ask, what is the big deal specifically? Because it always devolves down to kids, right? And I get it. You want to cry, you want to outrage, and you want to be mad for something. Rah, rah. Okay, I get it. Like, really? What are you so upset about? What did you not get that you want?
You're the one who sounds pretty upset here.
Again, you attacked. You didn't even answer. That's what I'm saying.
Wait,
I
so
don't even answer.
so it's an attack when you say I'm mad, but when I say you're mad, it's.
I'm just asking. You said why is MAGA, right? Why are you all mad? And I'm like, I'm not mad.
I didn't ask why you're all mad. I don't know if you know how to read. I don't know if you know how to read. I didn't ask why you are mad.
Okay, go ahead.
The prompt says, "Why do you hate the LGBT plus community?"
I don't hate anyone. I'm asking, like, y'all want to be a victim, and you want to be like, I didn't get this. I didn't get loved as a child, or I didn't get a brand new pony or a sports car or whatever. I don't know what the fuck y'all are complaining about. And that's what I'm trying to ask. But I can't get a straight answer. It typically devolves down to kids and puberty blockers like it did with the other hyena a moment ago. So
You're the one. I don't know if you know this, but you're the one who sounds angry, and you're the one who sounds like you're trying to act like a victim, and you're complaining about a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
I mean, that's all you've done.
Ask me a question,
That's all you.
and then I will answer your question. But I'm asking you questions, and you're not answering.
Well, I don't know what question I don't know what answer you want that you couldn't have gotten by listening to the live stream.
I still don't think I've heard a single question.
No one specifically, even in the chat. It typically devolves into some nonsensical hypothetical.
What's the hypothetical? We're not talking hypothetical. We're talking about actual human beings. There's no hypotheticals here.
It devolves into would you give puberty blockers to a 3-year-old? Absolutely.
Nobody's asking that, and you guys are the ones who are bitching about that. We're not bitching about that. You are.
That's what we were just talking about a moment ago before I called in. That's exactly my point. So my question is it a workplace thing? Are you not getting a decent amount of money? Is it a cultural thing? Is it a passport thing? I heard that earlier, right? I understand the passport, but what you don't understand is there's laws with other countries. So if you want to change that, that's fine. We can talk about that. But changing the law for a passport is completely different than, giving books to children who probably don't need to be reading about that stuff to begin with.
Right.
Young.
What stuff? What's up? Mitri, he's not going to be able to hear you. Mitri, he's not going to be able to hear you, unfortunately.
What's the issue that you're so upset about?
But again, if you've been listening to this live, you should know these things. So you're very disingenuously asking this question because you already know.
Because there's no clear stance. Again,
there is a clear stance. The clear stance is stay out of people's lives.
Then why do you want to make it such a public thing? What? Like, that's why I'm asking you.
We're not. Hey, we're not making it a public thing necessarily. We just want Republicans to stop legislating against it.
Exactly. What legislation? Because the only thing that came up a moment ago was the hypothetical rape and abortion. Now, that's rape and abortion.
Not
that's
hypothetical.
not LGBTQ. That's something different.
We're not talking about
that's
hypotheticals.
Is it rape and abortion, or is it the LGBTQ? Because it's like a package deal. Y'all throw so much shit in this. I don't know what you're fighting for.
I think you're too stupid to understand conversations, because if you couldn't understand why I understand I am. I know I am. Shush. All right, you're going to go on mute for a second. Shush. If you can't understand these questions or the conversations that are being had, then I don't know what to tell you. You're not going to be able to understand it if I bring it up to you right now. It was very clear why we brought up abortion. If you could, I don't understand why you couldn't understand that, really. Again, this is a very disingenuous conversation. You know exactly what the issue is. You're pretending not to. So why don't you just bring up the issues?
I am trying my hardest.
You're not.
I've brought up everything that was going in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I've dissected it into multiple different parts because those matter, and they really do, right? The difference between rape and laws for rape are completely different than LGBTQ, right?
No duh.
That's a different thing.
Yes, they are different things.
Abortion is the same thing. So my thing is, what specifically, when you say LGBTQ, because when you ask, like, why do we hate you guys? It's because everything's so fucking difficult with you. You don't listen. You don't answer, and then you go emotional, and then you go insulty, and then it's like, well, fucking A, I'm asking you, what do you want?
The
Like,
irony.
what can I help you with? And genuinely, if it's something that I could do, I will. I have my own crazy shit that I have to deal with on a day-to-day.
You sound very emotional right now.
So bad.
You sound very, very emotional right now.
It's all good, dude. I don't get it. I'm asking you, like, what can I help you with?
There's nothing that you can help with.
And you guys can't even answer.
There's nothing that you can help with.
So everything is just, woe is me, I'm a victim. Woohoo.
Again, if you were listening to the live, you would understand the issues. You don't care enough to listen. Again, this is a very disingenuous conversation.
It's like talking to a brick wall. You're really good at this. I mean, you're really not. I've asked
how drunk are you right now?
Anything.
How drunk are you right now?
I'm much, to be honest, but I've had gastric sleeve surgery, so it doesn't take much. But I am just laughing my ass off as I'm sitting beside a fire, and I am enjoying myself.
Don't accidentally fall into it.
Maybe it'll be fun. You gotta live a little, right? You gotta have fun and make mistakes.
All right. Do you want to have a genuine conversation? And guys, he's not going to be able to hear guests on the panel. Huh? You're not here for a serious conversation, man.
I swear on my life, I genuinely do not understand why y'all get so upset because you group everything together. You want to put so much rage and bitter and anger.
So you don't want to know. So you don't want to know. So you don't want to know. The way that you're phrasing these things is you're saying you don't know, but then you're criticizing us for the things that you apparently don't know about. It doesn't make any sense. If you genuinely want to know about these things, you wouldn't have said that last stuff that you just said right there.
Okay, point blank. Let's give me one then, please. What is something that you did not get that you were advocating?
Again, we already spoke about this. Goodbye. We already spoke about this. And guys, no, that wasn't the guest. That was a person from YouTube. And yeah, guys, when I have somebody call in from YouTube, like, they can't hear the people on the panel because their voices on the panel come through here. And so, like, I only can do if I, like, put the phone up to here. And taking the headphones off doesn't make it come out from here, so it's kind of annoying. But anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up because it's late. But yeah, Rook or Mitri, if you wanted to say something before we drop.
I don't really have a whole lot, but thank you for having me up. It's been good to see you. I'm glad your things are going well, and I love that you're doing YouTube. And keep fighting the bigots.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mitra. Okay.
Nothing here. Just keep it up, man.
Cool. All right, man. All right, Mitra, take care. Okay. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the live, make sure you follow me on TikTok, subscribe to me on YouTube. This was a good live on YouTube today. It's great to have a lot of people in here. If you guys want to get notifications ahead of time of when I go live, join the Discord. The link to both of those are, I know it's in my TikTok bio. It should be in my YouTube bio. It is there, but I don't know if you're able to click on it or not. But anyways, and on TikTok, you can join the bulletin board as well. That's about all I got. I'll see you guys at some point tomorrow. I do hope everybody has a good night, though. Take care.